Carl. Good evening, Carl. Katie. This is CmdrAleon, Jim, Kuhn, Stacy. We're going to be live here. We are live on late night on Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Always disclosures on the top of our forum. UFO sighting reports from around the world from you, our viewers. ET's visitation stories, contactee stories, encounters like people from other planets visiting you, all those things. Linda, David, everybody coming in here, welcome to another edition. Lady Glitter, good to see you. Good evening. Bonnie, good evening. Everyone, N Wild, I think it is. Val, welcome. Judy Bowman, welcome to the show. Aaron, welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here, all the new people, all the media people that might be coming in here. I'm sure there are other media people outside of TikTok that are hearing about us from sharing our stuff on YouTube. We're sharing the shows on YouTube now. For those that missed the shows, they'll be recorded. They are recorded, and we'll be sharing them on YouTube and Facebook. Serena, good to see you. Everybody coming in here. Robert, welcome to the show. And it's going to be another interesting night. It always is an interesting night on Encounters. We never know what's going to happen. And a good friend and co-host down the rabbit hole, Lady, good to see you, had something strange happen last night on the show. That particular show will be shared on YouTube, and I'll be putting that show on Facebook as well. So we are spreading out and using my other social media. My YouTube is a channel I have, and I'm amping that up a little bit more. L, good, Mantador, good evening. Stacy, Iris Coast, good evening. All the people coming in here. HMMCA, Rock Says 2, Jazzy Grand, user 827. Hi, Commander. I was sorry to have missed last night. Exciting. So last night's show is going to be, I'll be putting that on YouTube and on Facebook, either tonight, after, later, or tomorrow morning. Raymond, thanks for joining the show. The Spiritual Spot, thanks for the likes. Stacy, thanks for the likes. Nana Delgado shared the live. Thank you for sharing the live. Everybody, let's share and amp it up here. We want to get to 50,000 likes tonight, and we can do it. Everybody participates. Killa, good to see you. Good evening. I'm so excited to get on here at night for our late night show. Good evening, everybody coming here. Media Woman for Change. Thanks for the light. Thanks for the likes and for the light. Good to have everybody coming here. Ego. Welcome to the show, Ego. Just getting started here. Just acknowledging Pam Burton. Welcome to our show. Greg Walker. Welcome to Encounters. Good to see everybody coming in here. Please subscribe to Encounters. We have 36 of 100. Our goal is 100 subscribers a month. And you'll help with all the great things we're doing here on this show. My background, for those that are new to the show, I'm talk show host at WESU-FM, an NPR Pacifica affiliated radio station here in Connecticut, worldwide. And my show's on Sunday mornings, 11:30 to 1. And we simulcast the show here on TikTok. And, we've had TikTok for maybe a year or two, almost near 2, year and a half, whatever it's been. Luna, thanks for joining. So we're utilizing our social media platforms. Our radio show is broadcast live on TikTok. And also I'll be sharing all these shows on YouTube. If they miss them, you'll be able to watch them on YouTube, the full program. Kurt, welcome to the show. D-Man, welcome to Encounters. Todd Hendricks, welcome to Encounters. Stacy, thanks for the likes. Stubborn Bisson, welcome to the show. Alex, I think it's Alexandria. L, thank you. Good to have you with us, Todd. Thanks for coming in here on this talk show here. The Talked About UFO talk show throughout social media. Not on mainstream. Cursed Cassettes, thanks for being here. Everybody, how are you feeling from that fall this morning? Crazy you. Crazy Lou, I'm feeling great. I think I was protected. When I went down this morning on my live, man, whoever expected that to happen? I was walking, not looking as I was live, looking at the camera, and hit a metal seat and fell like kind of over it. I couldn't stop myself from falling, and I got half of myself on the grass. I was very, very lightly bruised from this morning's fall, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So thank goodness. I think the command was protecting me on that one. West Coast Treats, thanks for the follow. Erica, welcome to the show. Lakota Ferguson, welcome to the show. Any hope you're doing better? I'm doing good. I got very, very minor. I got a minor stuff here, so I'm doing really good. When I went, I went good. You know, you're never going to see that on live again. That was like a rare moment in history. Yeah, I'm definitely okay, Bonnie. So, no, they had 3 people come over to me and, make sure I was all right. They were grabbing me to pick me up. And I said, no, man, I'm good. Good to see you, Commander. Appreciate your sharing, brother. Peace with you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. The Divine Miss, thanks for joining us. Tricia, thanks for coming back in. Jimmy Bowman, welcome to the show. Did I fall again? No, I didn't fall again. That once in the morning was once in a lifetime. That was enough. Man, that was a different reality. Let's see. Sitting in Italy, ready to go. You're in Italy. Good to have Italy with us here tonight. We have viewers all over the world. So, Spoiled Brat, well, thank you so much for the gifts, Raymond. Thank you for the butterfly. We appreciate that so much, everybody. I'm CmdrAleon, your host. For my background, just to give you some sort of a background of who I am, I've been a contactee since the 60s. My first contact for newbies here on the show is that I had been in my kitchen with my family as a kid, and we were just getting over dinner, and I felt like I had to go upstairs. My brother was downstairs. I went upstairs, second floor of the house. It was carpeted, and I went up to my brother's room, which was bigger. For those that are new here, to tell you the story in a short form, I felt like I had to go to the window, open his wooden blinds up, and there we have it was a spaceship, a flying saucer with windows, and men, women, and children that looked just like us in space outfits. And I was watching them, and they were watching me, and I felt nothing but pure love. I was hypnotized by just the beauty of what I was seeing. And the only thing they said to me before, to make the long story short, is that I'm not from here. They reminded me that I'm from somewhere else, that I have a biological family, but I'm not here. I'm not from here. So that experience, Angel, thank you. That experience transformed my life, kind of. Because why would I go upstairs to my kitchen from my family and go upstairs and feel like I have to go to my brother's room? I didn't even go to my room, which was smaller. I went right next to his room, in his room, open, knew what I was doing. I mean, I went right for the window blinds and opened them up, and there was a ship and the people in it, And that was I don't talk about much about my personal encounters, but that was really important because that was when I was preteen when that happened. And after that happened, I can never be like a regular kid anymore, because I just knew there was something else going on. I'd have sightings. I'd get up like 2, 3 in the morning. I'd see big round orbs, like greenish orbs, go over the night sky in the same area of the sky. I'd see them go over. I'd seen a fleet of spaceships one time back when I lived in Long Island when I was a kid, and I saw all these ships. They were like all like in a formation, really, really high in the atmosphere, going in a direction. I've had many different types of encounters, but the one with the people in the cul-de-sac hovering their ship there, and there was like a foggy mist around it, but it was beautiful, and I'll never forget it. For new people, that's something that was one of my first experiences. And I've had sightings pretty much all my life, With the C5 app, the experiences are very beautiful. When we use the C5 app, we actually have had visual encounters with the space people. And I have my cat. When I go live, my cat is ready to talk. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to be right back, folks. Hopefully, we'll get down in the rabbit hole in here, and we'll be right back. So the cat needs something. I will find out what the ET cat wants, and we'll be just right back, folks. Okay? And matter of fact, if I down on rabbit hole, if he's here, he is here. I'm going to have him take over while we're looking from near the Air Force Base down in Florida on the Gulf Coast of the world. Viva.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are coming to you live from the Commander Studio.
I will check on the cat to make sure she has some ET friends visiting her, but I will be right back.
Hello, everybody. When Commander comes back, I am going to share a story from, I don't want to give anything away, but I've got a story and it has to do with the government and some top secret stuff going on. And no, I'm in, by MacDill Air Force Base. I'll see you in the chat. Good night, and welcome everybody. Make sure we tap that like screen for the commander. We got to give him love because we got to take care of our kitty cats. My kitty cats, they don't bother so much, so I get to come and go as I please. I've got 2 of them. Hello, user 852-23452. Hello, Anouk. Everybody, as we're having a great evening, do we have, if you enter, you guys, either with the chat or on the multi-guest function. It looks a little bit different from our end, as the host. So sometimes we don't see the requests coming in. Oh, my cat names are Leo and Luna. Go ahead, go figure. Leo and Luna.
And I'm back. And also tonight, later on, or maybe at some point, I have another crystal here. That's one of the new ones. And we're going to see if people see any things in the crystal. Not now, but later.
But you better put that down. We don't want to spoil it.
So it's just a little teaser there.
Commander, are you ready? Oh, Cat Mama needs 300 more. Can one of the mods
Yeah. Thank you for
tag
doing
her?
that.
So tag that comment so we can get Cat Mama some more subscribers. That's how
Yeah,
I
we
was
want to
able to
get
get
her.
on, guys.
Yeah, we want to get her up to 1,000. Okay, Mama, we're going to get you up to 1,000. That's what this show's about. Inclusive, we're inclusive here. Everybody with interesting
Cat Mama, we're gonna
encounters,
get you up
visitations
there.
who are not at 1,000. We want to make sure, brothers and sisters, that you get up to 1,000 on our TV show here, so that you can go on live for your first time and share exactly what's going on.
Commander, before I lose internet connection down the rabbit hole,
Yeah,
as they're trying to do to me every night, I have a story to tell you.
you need to share the story before
So
another
I was
spaceship comes over your house.
Yes, so I'm gonna get it right out in the open. Even though we don't have a full room yet, we are going to get this story out there. So I was speaking to somebody high up in the airline industry, and this particular airline, I cannot mention the name of the airline, but they have a government contract.
I'm listening. Are you still there? It figures when we get to the point. Are you there?
Plane.
You're being interfered with probably by the government for what we're doing right now. Are you still there?
I am here.
I hear you.
I'm gonna
You were
have to go
breaking up
mobile
before.
so they can't track me.
You might
Okay,
have to go
so
mobile.
the government has contracts um, with these flight companies. So recently there's been an uptick, what's called payload capacity flights. So what that means is the government has loaded them up with so much stuff underneath that they have to cancel people's flights. So
Really?
people are missing their flights because they are the government has been flying product items in underneath the planes. Now the planes also used to have surveillance in the payload area.
Yeah.
When they have those government flights, the surveillance camera is disabled.
Really?
So where have 80% of these flights been going to? That was the question I had to ask. I said, well, where are these flights going? The flights are going to Denver, Colorado. And not
Denver,
only are the
Colorado.
flights going to Denver, Colorado, but there's people flying on the planes. Let's say if the plane can hold 120 people, 50 of them will have this certain pin on their shirt. So my source has asked them, what are the pins for? And nobody will answer. So the other day, flight, one of the people on the flight had a few drinks, got to talking a little bit, and now this is where it gets really strange. He says that he works with the federal government in the Fed, and he was flying to Denver with payload to meet with the heads of the FDA, Medicare, Medicaid, and the NSA. So what would the NSA, the FDA, and these entities have to do with each other if he works for the Fed?
Right.
Also, they've been hearing noises coming from the payload, and they
Noise.
almost want to. They said that it almost sounds biological, like it's people knocking or movement, because those payloads are
Interesting.
secure.
So,
So
are we speaking of possibly the payloads are extraterrestrial
I'm believing so, or
and a lot of
or what
extraterrestrial?
Kenzo said. But now this is happening at a more frequent rate.
Hmm.
Also, what this source let me know is that the chemtrails that they're seeing now, they see them from a different angle as we see them.
Right.
They said that these chemtrails have been now, not only are they lasting longer, but they're colored and they have different hues to them. And now instead of UAPs, they think they're seeing like a biological entity flying up there. And I hate to say it like this because there's like the description is so weird, but
Hmm.
the description was an octopus that was cloaked like a Dementor from Harry Potter.
Okay.
That's the
There,
description.
there have been videos on YouTube. If some of them are real, I don't know. I've seen videos
Well,
from
this
like
person that I was
Mexico.
talking to seen them on, and they've been told not to videotape them
Interesting.
because this is a
And
government contractor.
who's creating these particular entities? Are we creating them? Meaning those scientists in our, or is this something
No,
that's non-terrestrial?
no, they think it's biological. They think it's not. I mean, they said a weird octopus looking. They said it could change color, it could hue, it could grow size, it could morph, but mostly it looks like a big octopus in a sheet.
Hmm. That's really strange, to say the least.
So yeah, I wanted to share some of that. This is from somebody who information from somebody who works for one of the major airlines.
See, and this is why on this show, you're not going to hear this on CNN or BBC. So somebody who, I mean, we don't need to know who they are anyway, that confided in my co-host, gave them information for the show, to share, this is what's going on. There's all kinds of layers when it deals with the whole UFO ET thing and our government. And, what's going on in Denver?
Right.
What's
Yeah.
this meeting in
Denver,
Denver?
Albuquerque, New Mexico is getting a lot of these government flights. And oddly enough, Washington, D.C. is getting a lot of them.
Yeah, it would make sense for Washington. I bet there's a multi-level facility there in the heart of Washington, D.C. that nobody knows about.
I'm sure. Langley, Virginia,
Yeah,
Woodbridge, all those areas.
yeah, absolutely. Yussi B. Busy is in Colorado. Hello there, Yussi. Welcome to the show. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is in the skies. Yes, indeed. You know,
Yes, and the UAPs, I mean, multiple pilots and workers are confirming them more and more every day.
I am Heather. Good to see you. Good evening, everybody. Scott Hammond, thanks for the like. Says my co-host Cheryl.
Hey,
Good to have
Heather.
you. And for people that didn't know about last night's broadcast, Down the Rabbit Hole had a spaceship cloaked like a cloud, and the temperatures went down in the region where he was. You might want to reshare that story.
Oh my gosh. It was, I was telling somebody the story today, and if it wasn't for you listeners confirming what I was feeling, the people that are in my area, um, it might sound a little wacky. So last night we were on the chat and my internet started acting wonky first. That was the first thing that I noticed.
Mm,
Then the air temperature dropped
yeah,
dramatically.
listen to this.
It dropped, I'm going to say 20 degrees. Now, I do the show. I'm always outside. I'm pretty familiar with the weather patterns, and the humidity and the crispiness in the air was a lot different than normal.
Yeah,
So I step outside. I always look up to the skies, and I look up and I see a weird looking cloud. I grab my phone I'm trying to talk to you guys while it was going on. And um, as soon as I look back up, the cloud was gone and the helicopters from the base all came out and started heading towards the ocean.
yeah. And these are
So
military
I told
helicopters.
Commander this morning. Now, this is where it gets weird, guys. Not only did I use Verizon for my home. Not only did Verizon go out, but Spectrum went out, T-Mobile went out, all of the internets in this little area went out. And I even went on to all the websites to track and see who was out of internet last night. And it was so weird when you look at the map, how the map is just a tiny little dot right over the military base
Mm-hmm.
that lost internet. All of us lost internet. And I went and I went to my wife's phone to check her phone. She had no internet. Landline down. Everything was down. I felt so helpless and hopeless. I was like, wow, if I lost internet, how can I
Yeah.
get a hold of anybody? How am I going to be able to communicate with anybody? I had to find the old landline to plug it in, and the landline didn't even work.
Hey, was the military base without power?
No, no, the power, we didn't lose power.
Not the
We
power. I
lost,
mean, we don't know. Did they lose service for their phones?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know. But I was telling a buddy about a mine about it. Now, I know someone mentioned they were in Palm Harbor, and my buddy was driving home on US 19 and said that he saw helicopters in formation heading out towards the ocean.
And they're all in pursuit of that cloud, which was really a spaceship.
I believe so, because
Oh, they were.
the ionization of what it did was it just the way it changed the weather. Like right now, I'm outside again, and
Hmm.
it's muggy. There's a little heat
Yeah.
out, and it was just spectacular. Then when I was done, I I went in and I did a meditation, and
Yeah.
I had the most wonderful sleep, the most peaceful, deep sleep ever. So I really think they were coming to say hello to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. They were very positive. I was getting that as you told the story last night. And I told you this. They're going southwest out towards the ocean. And you
Yep.
said after that something confirming exactly what I said. You
Yeah,
couldn't
he was
make this
on
stuff up.
19 south, and he saw them, and he's about southeast, southwest of me.
Yeah. Things do happen on this show, don't they? They always do. There's always something happening right during our live broadcast. What happened with Down the Rabbit Hole with the spaceship. During the broadcast, I knew there was something going on when you were freezing on the screen. It wasn't TikTok, it was happening to you. And then all of a sudden, that ship is above your house, temperatures go down in the area. And I definitely feel the ship had a lot to do with the temperature change.
I believe so. I think we're
Yeah.
getting contact. Listen, I
Oh, yeah.
think they're listening to your show.
You know what? I'm going to actually say something that's going to sound kind of weird. I do think that they're listening to the show.
I do
Is
too,
that,
because there's a blessing and there's a temperance in the live, in the interactions that we have, that it's like we're naturally elevating ourselves just by being in commune together.
yeah. Yeah, I actually do feel this. I wasn't going to say anything, but I really feel the fact that when we were on live, that ship was over your house. I think the beings, just the people on board that ship, knew that you were on live. I really do feel that. Don't you feel that?
I do, because they only, it's, and it really coincides with me and my mental state. And
Yeah,
yesterday, I was on a roll yesterday. I was calling the senators. I was calling the the representatives. I was doing everything I could to try to get disclosure. And that's what we need to be doing. And
yeah,
I did it in a peaceful way. I
yeah,
didn't yell. I didn't scream. I did it in a way that I hope represents everybody.
yeah. What are some of the responses people are getting? I'm gonna be doing my calls in the morning, but what are the responses that you're getting? And I know a lot of times you're reaching a person that's an intern for the congressperson.
Sure.
Are you getting good responses? What are they saying?
No, no, not at all. We'll pass the message on. Oh, you should submit that online. Oh, you should submit a letter. A snail mail type letter. Oh,
Yeah,
nobody. Yeah, I agree with you. We should have disclosure. Nobody agreeing. Now, and especially because, like you said, it's an intern. So I'm trying to relate to these people, and
yeah,
I was
they're
really
interns.
trying to work one of them, and I said, listen. I know that your bosses, they probably don't even know your name. I was really trying to coerce them and tell
Yeah,
them, you're just a peon like the rest of us. Let's get
correct.
disclosure, because this will not just affect me, but it'll affect you too, even if you don't believe it. And Melly, they thought I was a crackpot, but that's okay.
You know what? Well, the interns, they're just, kids out of high school, not high school, but in college or whatever, getting money for the summer, working with some congressional office. We really need to get to the Congress people, and we really need to get them to take a stand one way or the other on disclosure now. I was just reading some reports from the congressional online thing this afternoon that there's some movements, there have been movements and stories about other congressional representatives trying to get a joint session of Congress to deal with the area and about being more transparent. And they're running into roadblocks, just like I'm Shai talked about. All these people in Congress that want to make things happen are being hit with roadblocks, and that is a problem. right now in this country. I can't speak for England or France or what people are doing there for disclosure with their governments, but in the United States, they're running into roadblocks. That wasn't supposed to be the case. But like Amshai said the other night, is that they're going to kibosh any attempts to have the Pentagon have to the DoD having to come forward with information. The DoD doesn't want to do that. The DoD is trying to do everything but do that. And
It's funny that you
we
brought up Shy because I was texting her today and I was actually texting her about the conversation I had with the government contractor on these planes because I was
yeah
trying to get some legitimacy. I trust this it's a very near and dear person, but I just wanted to get her thoughts on it
right
and my messages weren't going through. I had
really
perfect internet. It kept on saying message not sent, message not sent. I waited for like 30 minutes. I'm like, hey, are you okay? The message went through. And I said, hey, I've been trying to send you these messages. Are you getting them? And she didn't get any of the messages.
Really? I had that
Hmm.
problem the other day. I was trying to send people messages. It said message not sent. I'm going too fast. I said, what do you mean I'm going too fast? Now my messaging thing today is working fine. The other day, I couldn't send anybody any messages.
Right.
Not at all. Government interference, possibly, who knows? But even if they interfere with this show or what we're doing, it doesn't matter. We're going to still do it anyway. We're going to kick the DOD out the window. Those that are against disclosure,
That's right.
I hope you're listening. You know,
That's right. There's too many of you, and we're tired of it, and we're standing up.
yeah, that's what we're here to do, man, and we're doing it. We're here to listen to people's stories. So if the DoD doesn't want to talk about encounters or visitations or things like that, or the things that we're very much interested in, we're going to do it here. We're going to be we're a clearinghouse on this show for people all over the world. I want people in France in here, Scandinavia, African countries, Central South American, UFO disclosure people that want to come forward in the government. I am so much, and I know Dan Rafael is with me on this. We want people, if you have to use an alias and get on TikTok and you're in the DoD or NSA, come on in here. Use a fake name or whatever you want to do, but provide us with concrete information about what your department knows regarding the non-terrestrial beings that are here now, and what are you doing in terms of the interaction with ET information, which I believe all the different departments have: CIA, NSA, Naval Intelligence, DoD. They all have information about the extraterrestrial intelligence.
And I want to say this: the pilots of these commercial airlines are scared to death to disclose anything they see. Because if anybody is seeing the most, it's commercial airliners.
Yeah,
And these guys, they don't even want to entertain a question regarding anything they see. The fear that these pilots has is real. So that
yeah.
just shows you that, with Shy and everybody, the government fear on these people is real.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of a story. A number of years ago, I was going on a red eye flight going home from LA to Connecticut, and we were coming into Nevada at the airport. But before we got there, I was looking out the window and I could see the mountain ranges, and I saw spaceships or UFOs going really weird. I saw them out of nowhere coming out of the mountain areas. And I asked the stewardess, did you know that I'm looking at some UFOs? They're right out the window. She didn't say a word. I said, "Do you guys see anything? Does anyone see anything?" And I was really public about it. And but I knew I saw two or three objects going really quick. There was nothing there, just the mountains. We were just coming into the perimeters of Nevada, and this was back about maybe 15 years ago. So when I got into, we got on the red eye flight. I get off the jet, and I'm in this area. There's like a gift shop with Area 51 T-shirts and all kinds of ET paraphernalia. and I see this little area with slot machines because gambling is legal. So the slot
Right.
machines are here. There's some people sitting down. One guy smoking a cigarette. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And and then I get back on the red eye flight and come home to Connecticut. That one moment in that airport was the most surreal, weirdest thing I've ever experienced. And then I had the sightings of the UFOs before we landed, getting into Las Vegas. It was pretty bizarre, you know. Just another story that I
Yeah.
remember, you know.
Deborah says we're breaking up, but my connection to the commander is perfect.
Yeah. Anyone else hear us breaking up? We share a little bit of story. I have many stories to share. Um, we've been in stone
Sure.
chambers. We had a group. I'm going to tell another story. This is going to blow your mind. We, we had a group of people over less than 20 years ago. We must have had about 20 people in our group. We caravanned to New York State. New York State, we went to an area where there were stone chambers. Now, most people around the world have no idea what a stone chamber is. We had a UFO
I
person
don't
with
even
us
know.
that a stone chamber is there. A lot of people in Putnam County in that region of New York State across the border from Connecticut, they have a thing called stone chambers on their property. A lot of people use these stone chambers for like their tools, a shed or whatever. They're ancient structures. But some
Oh,
of the
okay.
stone chambers stone chambers are like stargates. The stone chambers, if you go in them, it'll take you into another place. It could take you into another dimension. So we had a group of about 20 people. We got word from our friend that there was a stone chamber next to another one. One was a negative chamber. It was kind of foggy, as she said. She'd been out there and heard about this. Another chamber next to it had crystallized faces of different beings on it. It was all beautiful and crystallized faces.
Wow.
And we were trying to, so we all parked our car. We parked in this one area and we were trying to find we had to go through a trail. We brought rope with us in case, so we figured if we had the rope and we went into the chamber, if anything should happen to any of us and we disappear, we're holding on to that rope until wherever we're going. This is a true
Sure.
story. So we never got to figure out where this was. We actually went across a parkway system. We had people climbing up mountains along the other side. And I said, we got to get everybody together. This is not going to be too good. So we all came back because we were being followed by an undercover agent or cop. And he was saying, what are you guys doing? I said, we're looking for stone chambers. Oh, there's no stone chambers around. Oh, we're just looking for the specific chambers. So we decided to act
Right.
stupid and, but we never found the
Yeah.
chamber. We had a chart. We knew what the chamber was there. And I hope we had found it. It was an activated chamber, the good one. And we could have ended up in another dimension, another place, another Earth. This is a true story. So back then we were a little bit kind of crazy to do something like that. And we were really going to go into this chamber and see what happened, but we never found it. True story from the commander.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
They these park rangers, all of them, they're all in on it. I told you about the crash that I witnessed in a state park. I don't know if you remember that story, but we were at a we were at an event in a state park, and there was a swamp. There was a tower and a pavilion overlooking the swamp, and there was about 30, 40 of us, and we saw something coming out of the sky, real like right above the tree line, and then just coming down and boom. And when it hit the ground, we could feel the vibration of
Yeah.
like whatever hit the ground. It was pretty
Yeah.
far away.
Wow.
I, Within 15 minutes, the
Mhm.
rangers were in the park and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, everybody, you have to leave. We're shutting down the park."
Crazy.
They didn't give a reason. They shut down the park. That park stayed closed for 2 to 3 years.
Oh my God.
2 to 3 years. And when you look at it on the map, you can
Yeah.
see all of these woods, all of this forest, and a perfect clearing that
Yeah.
looks like something land like crashed on the ground.
And they had to get it
So
out.
all of these agencies are part. Yeah, they were doing construction on the park. When they reopened it 3 years later, there was nothing. Nothing was
construction.
nothing was
We
different.
got the governor paid us to do it for 3 years, so we get extra money out of it and take a vacation.
Well, like Shai was saying, diverted money. Diverted
See?
money in these things that are happening.
Oh, it's crazy. O'Shea says, I'm seeing UFOs every other night. I have videos. O'Shea, I want you to send me those videos. I'm reading comments as you're sharing some stories
Yeah,
here. And
post them on
send me
your TikTok.
send me your videos, and I will look at them with the date, location, and a storyline. You know, and this is Encounters with my co-host Down Rabbit Hole, myself, CmdrAleon. If you're new to the show, I've been doing radio for over 20 years, but for the last 20 years, I've been doing radio called Cosmic Eye Astro Grand Radio and NPR Radio, and I deal with all the stuff regarding Ashtar Command, our star family, UFO sighting reports, all of that on the show. So we encourage you. If you have a story you want to share, we'd like to hear your stories. We love to have first-time viewers come on with us. And if you have any stories around the world regarding visitation, contact, disclosure information in your own country, we want to hear it. Down Rabbit Hole and I would love to hear your stories. If you're a government agent
And don't
in
be
top
scared.
security clearance, we want to hear about your stories, and we want to have people out there that have disclosure information to bring it on here on this show. We'll be sharing the show once it's recorded on our YouTube channel and also on Facebook. So we're going to be spreading our information from this broadcast to other alternative mediums to get the word out there about the show and our great guests that we're having quite often here. So welcome to the show. This is Encounters, everybody. I'm your host. Please step it up. We have 13,000. I want to get it to 50,000 likes tonight. I want everybody to get amped up here. Commander, you're on Pandora and Spotify. Not on Pandora and Spotify, not yet. I'm just doing visual media right
I'm on
now, which is
Spotify.
Down the Rabbit Hole's on Spotify. But me, I'm just doing YouTube and Facebook right now, and I have a Twitter account which is now called X. I probably will share them on Twitter and figure that one out. Interesting. So O'Shea says they're on. I think you're talking about a
Oh, he's
ring
got
camera.
ring cam footage.
A ring cam footage. That would be very interesting to see. So if you can send us some of the ring cam footage, O'Shea, I'd like to kind of look at that. You can't. There's one thing with ring cameras when they pick
I've
up.
actually seen some really good ring cam info. So sorry, Commander. I was saying I've seen some really good videos come from
On
ring
ring cam.
cams, actually.
Oh, me too. That's some of
Yeah.
the best stuff. You can't CGI that. That stuff is as real as it gets. You should try out Discord. It's free. You could make a server. Maybe. I got enough media going on right now that I think I'm just gonna work with what I have and reach as many people as I can. TikTok is a good place for us to be here. So I'm not going to try to spread myself too thin out there. I know there's other options, but we're pretty good here. But I appreciate the ideas.
We're old
You
school,
guys,
guys. We're old school. We got the camera and that's it.
yeah. Someone says, would you guys CDM make Discord server? I'm not sure what CDM means, but Jason Sanders, welcome to I'm on Discord. It's kind of easy. We'll have to figure that out. Right now our main goal is to keep focused on our show here and reaching out to the world, and and we are. So there you go. Calamity, welcome to the Shade Z. Deborah, welcome to our show. If anybody, Mizzy, welcome to our show Encounters. Levitt, good to have you with us, brother. Captain Apostle Paul, thanks for the likes. Everybody coming in here. So I got to believe there are people out here with stories to tell. If you've never
Right.
been on our show live,
We want to
please come
hear
out of the closet and
everybody's
share
story.
some stories. Yeah, we want to hear some stories. And to go on live, just press the
And we
little
like
guest
new
icon.
guests. We want new friends.
New friends, new guests on the air live here. So if you've never been on live, but you say, I've got some great UFO footage, or I've been encountering visitations from star people from another planet. We want to hear those stories, you know, and that's
Any
the
type of
important thing.
visitation.
Yeah.
I think my Bigfoot visitations were pretty profound.
Oh yeah. I would think they would be. I just B says I'm outside now. I just feel a nice breeze. What's your email address? My email address for the UFO footage would be this one here. And I'm going to give it to you so you can send it to us, O'Shea. Email me at that email. Attach the footage with some information, and I'll
Let's
take a
get
look at it.
Sonic. Everybody follow. I'm going to tag this one. I'm going
Sonic,
to write follow,
we can
follow,
get
follow.
Sonic. Sonic has 834. Let's get Sonic on tonight, folks. We have 125 people on here. Sonic, let's everybody follow Sonic. Okay? She's got 834. He or
And
she's
Sonic
got
is a
834.
viola player.
Yeah, Sonic Viola player. Everybody coming in here, follow that person. When they get that close, I've got to push it, push it, push it. I'm sure they got a good story to tell. I believe they do, actually. And we want to get Sonic at 1,000. Let's see if we're going to get there. We're going to check and see where he or she is at. And you're watching Encounters, UFO TV talk show late night. My host, myself, CmdrAleon, my co-host down the rabbit hole, down in Florida, on that part of the world, on the planet. And Carolina Polak, welcome to the show. Nicole Mann Adams, Beautiful Minds, welcome to our show. And we appreciate all the likes. Let's amp it up, folks. We're at 15,000. I want to get to 50,000 tonight. 50,000 is the magic number. I am a heel. Greg. Okay, Greg.
Make sure everybody's following Sonic Viola player.
And that's Greg. So we want
I
to
am a
get Greg
he,
up to
Greg.
1,000. We're going to get Greg to 1,000. Please press then tap, tap, tap. You can tap dance if you want to. Send us gifts. Let's get everybody amped up here, folks. We're here for
Someone
you.
says they think Bigfoot is the original humanid. I'm going to tell you something. My experience with Bigfoot was supernatural,
Thank you, Susan. Yeah, talk about that. What happened?
interdimensional. So, hold on, I got to get the camera on for this one
Thank
so
you
you
so
can
much.
see
Thank you.
my
Thank you. Thank
face
you
while
for
I'm
the paper
telling the
crane.
story.
Hello, Darren. Darren,
So,
good to see you. Go ahead.
So I was 14 years old and I was washing dishes in the kitchen. And we have the window at the kitchen that faced out to the pool area. And beyond the pool area, we had forest behind our
Mm,
house. And next to the forest was a clearing on the left side. So on the left side, there was a big clearing, and I'm washing, and I've got the window open, and I'm smelling like a dead animal,
mm,
some kind of a stench. So, anybody that lives in Florida and has a pool knows that sometimes raccoons or squirrels will get in there and they'll drown and they'll start to stink up. So I go outside and I'm thinking I'm going to have to scoop up an animal, and I'm looking and I'm looking. And the farther I get away from the house and closer to the woods, the stronger this smell
oh, my God.
is getting. So finally, the smell draws me out of the pool cage towards the woods. And I'm like, oh, God, something stinks. Now, the story is,
Right.
Bigfoot's always stink. So I'm looking in the woods. I'm like, what is that? And I see this hand come around the tree and this head pop out and look at me. Now, this was not an 8 foot, 9 foot tall Bigfoot. This was more of like a 6 foot tall juvenile.
Wow.
Okay. And it was massive. Its shoulder size was massive. And it has its arm around the tree. Now, remember, I'm in Florida. So it's hot. It is hot. So, like when you see a bear in Florida, it looks weird because it's losing its fur
Yeah.
because of the heat.
Yeah.
So, the same way any animal would lose its fur, this animal's fur was very, very thin, and I could see the skin underneath the hair, and I could see
Yeah.
the muscle, the musculature. Like you see, when the muscles move,
Did the skin
I
look
could
human?
see the muscles moving. And I look at it, the skin looked like a dog's would, or any animal, like a gray, like a white, like a
Yeah. Yeah.
like an animal skin with fur coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh crap!" And as soon as I said, "Oh crap," this thing started running through the woods. And as soon as it turned its body to run, and like it stepped off, I could see all the muscles in its leg, the quadricep, the thigh muscles, the
Yeah.
calf muscle. This thing had like solid muscles on it underneath that light fur, and it started booking through the woods. So now
Wow.
I'm thinking, oh my God, as soon as this thing hits the clearing, I'm going to get a really good sight of it. As soon as the Bigfoot hit the end of the woods into the
Yeah.
clearing, poof, it disappeared. And there was like a smell of sulfur. So, okay, I'll get to that. So there was this smell of sulfur and it was gone.
Oh my God.
Absolutely gone.
That's crazy.
Just disappeared. And I saw it was like smoke. It was like you ever see like the X-Men movie when the guy would teleport, he would leave like a poof of smoke behind. It was like
Yeah.
almost exactly like that, the way it looked. So
Wow.
the next day, later on, not the next day, later on that day, after I'm freaking out and I'm going in and I'm trying to tell mom and everybody that I saw Bigfoot, we go out
Yeah.
to
Right.
look for the footprints, and at the tree where it was standing at. And you
Yeah.
know what? When I got to the tree where he was standing and I looked at the angle he was running out,
Yeah.
there was no way this Bigfoot ran through those woods straight because they were so dense and so
Right.
thick.
He could have
And I
done
did not see any footprints.
it.
No
Interesting.
footprints at all.
It's almost
Yeah.
like it didn't want you to follow
So
it and
I
find out where.
believe that this thing is interdimensional.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like the speed it was moving, it was the same way that UAPs, UFOs can move so quickly. The speed this thing was moving, it was like it would make Usain Bolt look slow. And it was graceful. Chenzo, it was like I was watching an Olympic sprinter, perfect
I'll be right
form,
back.
running through those woods.
Wow.
Thank you, Sue. So yeah, guys, I think Bigfoot is interdimensional. I don't care what anybody says. I know what I saw, and that thing was real. It was real. The way it was just standing and leering outside of the tree. Hey, Blade. So has anybody else had an encounter? Now, you guys might think I'm crazy, and I've told the commander this before, but I'm a believer in all types of spiritual entities. So growing up in Hawaii, we had what was called the Menahunis, and the Menahunis were like the people that live under the stairs type of story. Like they'll steal stuff from you. They're mischievous little
Yeah.
spirits. And my mom and my sister both witnessed seeing them in the kitchen, like down in the kitchen cabinets and stuff like that. We believe that we brought one to Florida with us. And I always say that the elf, I saw an elf before. And you guys can say I'm crazy, but I don't believe that there's a Santa Claus that goes around giving gifts. But I do believe that there was a person on this planet that was elevated And there is, so let's just call it the spirit of Santa. I
Yeah.
believe in the spirit of Santa Claus.
There you go.
And we were at a Christmas show, and we were in a big field, and I look over and I see a lady sitting next to me, and she has this old stocking cap on. Just, she looked like she came out of the 1600s. She had
Wow.
long, pointy ears, and she had to have been maybe 5 feet tall.
Wow.
And I saw her, and when I looked at her, she went like this. And she said, shh. I turned and I said, Dad, look, there's an elf. And as soon as I turned back, she was gone.
She looked
She
out of
was,
there.
and we were in a field, so I mean, she wasn't fast enough to move away. And so I believe that I saw an elf or an elemental or some type
Yeah.
of creature,
Yeah.
and it
Those
was a
things
good
do
one.
exist.
It was smiling, saying, "Shh."
Those things do exist. Our 3D mind looks at things in a very limited reality. But if
No, I
we
wasn't
allow
sleeping.
ourselves, you know, we know that these things do exist. Now, speaking of things, while we're waiting for some people to come on here and some great stories, this is the other crystal. This is a crystal here, and I'm going to see if anyone sees anything in the crystal. We'll just have to do it this way for a minute.
Oh
Do you see
boy,
anything?
pull it down. Look at that. Look at that head. Look, there's a head right there. It's looking right at me. Yeah, you know I'm ready to see some faces. I'm gonna help you guys
Anybody
find
see
them
it?
too. Do you guys see the face? Like a gray? Yeah, looking like a gray. Now pull it back a little more and turn it right there. Now pull it a little closer. Yeah, you guys see the gray? It's amazing. Now, is there anybody that didn't see the crystals from the other night?
Maybe.
Whoa,
Anyone do?
wait, stop. Pull it forward. Do you guys see a face that looks like it's looking to the left? Look at that. Do you guys see a face that's like looking to the left? I wish I could point it out on the screen. Oh, now it looks like it's looking to the right. When you turn it like that,
I'm going to be very slow here. Here, wait a minute. Tell me if you see anything here.
no, usually it's got to be, that's a nice one too.
Let me turn this way here. Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, bring it in a little closer. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm seeing something start to form up. Right there, stop. Ugh, it looks like the being from Independence Day in there.
Greetings. They're still looking at you. I'm from the planet beyond Earth.
I
I have
imagine.
2 eyes. You can see me here. I'm a positive being of light. That's my eyes are white.
What the
Oh
hell?
yeah,
That's man.
I'm telling you, these crystals, every crystal I have is an activated ET crystal. I kid you not. I can't make any of this up. Let's see here.
Is that another one there?
This is the same crystal, but I'm giving you a different observational point. Let's see if there's anything.
I was gonna say turn it up. There we go. I don't know about you guys.
Let me get the other crystal here while we're waiting for guests.
Yes,
And
guys, if
this,
you want to join and tell us your encounter story, please come and join us. This is a Sucker free, hater free zone. This is the one. That's the one. Turn it the other way you had. It the other day in there. There it is. Oh, go back in that angle. Oh, God. Oh, guys, come on. Can't tell me you don't see that freaky looking face right there. Oh, yeah, that one's Ooh, he was either snarling or. It's so weird. Oop.
I'm not trying to scare anybody. These crystals are really used for light working, very high frequency. So here's another one here. Here's where you'll
Oh, I'm
see
not
something.
scared. I just say it's freaky.
Now here you can see a whole body,
Yep.
sort of like more of a different angle. Let's see
Because
here.
I see a face that's looking up like this, like you guys ever see the cover of like Prometheus, like looking like Prometheus looking face.
There was one end when I turned it a certain way, we were seeing a pyramid. Where was it here? I just wish I can remember which one. It was a pyramid. Either this way, maybe. No, it was a
Oh,
landmass.
yeah, but flip it like this, like 360 this way. Yeah, if you like right there, it looks like you're looking at a landscape.
Yeah, you can see it right in there.
Like there's a landscape, like you're looking at a
A landmass.
yeah.
Right in there. See that?
Yeah, like
It's
the
like you're
mountain,
looking
the
into it.
pyramids. There's a pyramid right there, and then there's a mountain all the way to the left.
Yeah, this is the one, the pyramid here.
Yeah,
And a landmass.
over there.
See the pyramid?
Yeah.
I cannot make this stuff up, folks.
Ooh, right there. Wait, stop there. Wait, go back. There's an eye in there. Wait, go tilt it back the other way you
Here's
were
the pyramid
moving.
right there. See the pyramid going up?
And under the pyramid, when you change the angle, it looks like there's an eye, like a dinosaur eye or a dragon eye.
This way?
Man, I don't know how you did it, but it was some. Well, wait, almost no. There you go, right there. I'm seeing like an eye,
But you
but
can see the
really like
landmass.
two
You see the
eyes and a
land?
mouth. You gotta look. You gotta look deep into it. Look into it. Use your third eye, and you're gonna see somebody with two faces, two eyes looking at you.
And you
Yep,
see the
there's an
landmass.
eye.
It
There's one
looks like
eye
a desert
underneath the
area too.
pyramid, but then when within the pyramid, these crystals, yeah, but the crystals are showing you. The crystals are used. You have to use your inner eye to look into the crystal,
You can see the
and it will
skyline.
expose.
The
It will
skyline
show
above
things.
the where the pyramid
Yeah,
is.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm seeing the damn skyline and a lake. I don't know about you, but I see the lake, the skyline, the mountains, the pyramid. I see all of it right there.
You know, I was saying to my wife, I said this crystal is, I think it's a transmitter. I think it transmits what we want to see beyond Earth. I have the feeling when I got this crystal, I didn't realize until we did it on the show with it that I actually can see pyramids. I can see land masses through it. I believe it can probably show us whatever I want it to show us, but I have to figure out how to do that with this crystal. But I think it's not just a regular crystal. I think it's able to like
I
be a
think it's
transmitter.
showing you something. I think
Yeah, it
it's
is.
like, the same way we have pictures in our house to our family,
Yeah,
we're seeing their pictures in their house to their family.
yeah. Claire, it's a
What kind of
smoky
crystal
quartz.
was that?
That crystal here is a smoky quartz, and oh yeah, I can see. There's so much going on in here. It's a smoky quartz. You can actually see something else here that I didn't notice before at an angle. Do you see this? Can you see this?
Keep moving it because I don't think we're seeing what you want us to see. Oh, like a sideways face?
A spaceship.
Oh, right there. There you go. Right in there.
See the way the ship protrudes out, the angle, the
Is it a
top of the
ship?
structure of the ship. See it?
Wait, is that like Flight of the Navigator looking type ship?
You can see the ship embedded.
Right, right. Who said UFO or Saturn? Yeah, like remember when the Flight of the Navigator stretched out, went into sport mode? Like kind of like that.
I'm going to bring it closer.
Claire Perez wants to know, Commander, what is the use for this crystal?
This crystal, I haven't
I
figured
think
that
we
out
found a
yet.
new use now.
Well, the command had me get this crystal. They said this is a crystal you need to have. I was playing with the energy. It's very high frequency, but there's a lot of information in this crystal. Evidently, we're seeing a lot of different things in this crystal, and I'm finding it amazing. I think it's an activator. I think when you look at it, it's going to just automatically activate you. And as we look more into this, I'll bring it up this way a little bit more. And if you look at this from an angle,
Oh gosh, yeah, look at that.
you can see a face.
At multiple angles you can see them. I wonder what would happen if you held a flashlight up to it
I don't
while
know.
we were looking.
Do you see the face?
Oh, I see
Oh,
the
yes.
face. I see a
Our
few
crystal
different faces.
technology, they are used by our space brothers in the higher uh, spiritual frequencies. They're used by our space brothers. The crystallized energies are used for transportation and for other purposes. Let's see here.
Somebody says, Levick says it's good to bathe your crystals in oil once in a while.
We had some pretty amazing faces in this crystal the other night, and I think it's
Castor
going to
oil.
change. So, are there any other? Oh, let's just do it this way here. We did have some stuff this way.
Oh yeah. Oh man, bring it in. Bring it in. Now turn it yeah, turn it that way.
You see those lights in there?
Right there. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He's staring right at you. You guys see it or am I going crazy? Looks like Voldemort's face.
Now I have another crystal here while we're waiting for new people. We're trying to get some new guests on the show. People have not been on here before. And there's another crystal here. You might see some stuff, maybe not. But all these crystals are activated.
Wait a second. Wait, go back, go back, go back. I thought I saw a full person in there. Is that a cross?
It looks like a cross, doesn't it?
I don't know, man. It looks like I'm looking at a dude with a pirate shirt on in there. I mean, you call me crazy, but
All my crystals are
Trisha
low on
Hours says
frequency.
this one has strong energy. Yeah, this one is something else.
You can see a face. You see the eyes?
I see two eyes. I honestly, to me, I'm picturing like a lion face, like almost like a tiger or some kind of animal. Anybody else see like an animal? You see a lion? Okay, yeah. Someone saw the face.
I'm
You saw
going
the
to
one with the blue
squint.
shirt. Okay. Alexandra Wallace. She saw the blue shirt. Now a lion is all I see. I see the snake with the tongue. You know, I was getting that too.
Wait a minute.
See, that's a cool side right there. I see a guy with square glasses on,
I'm going to
like
get
a
you another.
scientist.
I'm getting in this other crystal while we're waiting for UFO disclosure information here. Let me get this other crystal.
I'm glad you guys are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing and not I'm not losing my mind. All right, bring it in, Commander. Let's see what we can find. You know, everybody's gonna be pulling out all their crystals right now. If you're pulling out your crystals at home and looking at your crystal, there I see the face right there. If you're pulling out your crystals at home and looking at them, hit the like button 5 times. Do you have Lemurian quartz?
Yeah, I do. They're in my other room, but it's too late to go in there. But I will show them one other night. Let me get this one other crystal, and then we get back
Yeah, there
to.
was a full body in that one, Diane. Yep. We're all over here looking at our crystals like, where do we see? And you know what? It's so funny, guys, because we all have, I don't know all of us, but some of us have crystals. And it's like we look at them, we love them, but this is the time I really gazed into the crystals and are seeing something. I don't know. I'm sure that most of you guys are doing that, but you know, I'm I'm I don't have a lot of crystals. My co-host, she's the crystal master. Commander, this one is awesome. Wait a second. Wait. Does that look like there's a star in there? Like a Mario Brothers looking star?
Well, the star. You can see the
And
star.
then like yeah, so yeah. And now when you look beyond that, wait, pull it back. Pull it back cuz beyond at the top of the star it looked like a dang face. And it looks like you're looking at a constellation.
It is a constellation. Look at it. See? The constellation's right there.
Wow.
Like I said, I can't make this stuff up. Every crystal we have here, there's things going on with it.
I think if you turn that one to the bottom, I think we're going to see something profound.
Well, this is the bottom right here.
You know, when the light hits it at such an angle, one angle you don't see anything, and then a second later it just looks like two eyes, like a skull, just looking at you.
Well, that's the crystals for now. I got tons of crystals, but this is one more, and then we'll get back to our UFO discussion as we're waiting for people to kind of come in here. Thank you, Susan Mary.
Thanks for the fire. Oh wow, that's a nice one. What is inside of that? Oh, wait, move it up a little bit to get it out of the glare. Do you? I see like a. Oh my gosh! I go back. No, go back. I saw like the nose and a mouth, like somebody like, woof, like looking like they were puffing up their face. Like was that what it was? Maybe like an owl. Oh, that looks like a ship in there. Wow. Ooh, right there. There's a face right there. Right there. Look at right at that angle. A little lower. No, a little lower. There you go. Right there. Does anybody else see it? He looks like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah,
All right.
like city. Yeah, buildings. Claire
Yes,
Perez says, "What is your favorite crystal to meditate with?"
oh my gosh. I use selenite crystals, big slabs of selenite, Lemurian crystals, and big amethysts. Amethysts are beautiful cathedrals. We have couple of cathedrals, a big one and a couple of small ones. So when I meditate and go off planet to connect with my space brothers, I use those kind of crystals. If you're not used to crystals, those are the crystals you should be using. And you're watching encounters, showing, people the different things that are activated in the crystals I have here. Every crystal I have here from years and years of crystals are all ET crystals, or all high vibrational frequencies. All the crystals I've been showing tonight, as we're waiting for guests to come on the show. Luis Gomez says, 2 UFOs made light just passed by. Got the video. Luis Gomez, send us the video of that. Luis Gomez, we'd love to see that. I'm going to give you my email to send the video, and we'll take a look at that. You're watching Encounters, a late night UFO talk show here on TikTok. It's 12:28 in the morning on the East Coast. On the planet Earth, we're still on the planet Earth, folks. And if you
Yes.
would like to share your stories, it's really been kind of slow tonight for new people coming out here with stories. We're reading the stories
Oh,
here.
somebody's asking you, Commander, how do you activate your crystals?
For me personally, I put them out into sunlight. I also, when I get crystals, I use warm water. I always try to, make sure the crystals are clean all the time. And if they've been sitting for a while, I make sure they're clean. I make sure I amp them up through meditation. There's a lot of different ways to activate your crystals more, or the crystals will activate
Yeah,
you.
my friend does hers through the moon.
Yeah,
When there's
the
like a
moon is
full moon.
full moon is a good way to activate your crystals. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of our space brothers, their spaceships run through crystallized energy, which is something we're going to learn when contact happens. They use crystallized structures of energy. They use the sun. They use unseen forms of energy in the universe that are right there. I mean, it's totally different.
All right, let's tap that, get that shares. We want to hear
Yeah,
some stories.
yeah,
Anybody
man.
in the
We
chat? We need.
kind of a slow night tonight here. I feel like we're out in the middle of nowhere. But this is
Yep.
Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Almost every night we're on here, we've had some really great interviews with people, with a lot of new people. So if you are one of those people with over 1,000 followers and you have a UFO disclosure story to tell, a sighting that you want to share, we want to hear your story here tonight, late night here on Encounters, the only UFO talk show here on social media. And not to say there aren't any other UFO discussions, but this is the UFO talk show Encounters. Whoops. So we're drinking not
Mama
apple
Cat.
cider tonight, but we're drinking water. We will have apple cider before the end of the week.
I am drinking water as well. I'm starting my 24-hour fast,
Oh,
so
good.
just gonna be drinking water.
The best meditation music is usually ambient meditation music. There are artists like Jonathan Goldman. Look his music up. He's out of Colorado. Jonathan Goldman has produced some phenomenal meditation music. So that's an artist which I would probably suggest to you.
Yeah, my meditation music is not traditional at all. I I to either smooth jazz, old smooth jazz, or Eminem.
Eminem makes you meditate.
Actually, I don't know what it is. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but if I put on his second album, it just I can zone everything out. I could zone everything out, and I hit that second album, and yeah, it helps me
Yeah,
elevate.
that's crazy, right? That's a good thing. I use a lot of I'll put in ambient Christed meditation music. When I'm going off planet, I want to meditate with that music in order to elevate to a frequency where our space brothers are. So for me, that's what I do. I'll look at YouTube videos that have images that are really beautiful, and that gets me into a trance state of meditation. Um, what artist did you mention? Jonathan Goldman. Jonathan Goldman is a wonderful creator out in, I think he's in Colorado. He's created some wonderful music for that kind of thing. Life on Mars, while we're waiting for people to come and talk about their UFO sightings, yes, I can tell you about life on Mars. So Mars has about 10 to 15 million inhabitants living, some on the surface of one side of the planet, and many living beneath the surface of the planet, with all kinds of different things going on. Contrary to human understanding, Mars has a solar cap. Mars has waterways underneath the planet within. A very advanced structure of traveling are on Mars versus Earth. Mars's vibration is really way up there.
Commander, let me ask you, um, the they're on the buildings. They would not be visible to us, but they are visible to them. Am I getting that correct because of the frequency?
Yeah, the Martian civilization, if you were to go in Mars into one of the door openings or whatever, you would, at that point, your vibrational patterns would shift to be able to see who they are. Because our Earth-based space satellites do not have that vibrational frequency, though the cameras will see whatever's out there. The human being might not because of the different levels of frequency that occur.
Whoa, look at the cat.
Wow, that's really
What
cool.
was that?
That's
That was
amazing.
awesome. No,
You know,
Jen, this is not satire. Would you think this is satire?
this is not satire. Who's saying satire? Where's that coming from? Hey, Douglas
Somebody
Grant, welcome
somebody
to the
asked
show.
that.
Is this satire? No, Jen.
We're
This is a
trying
real
to
UFO talk show. We're just, sharing. I shared some, Darlene, thank you. I'm sharing some crystals that have ETs in them that show land masses. That it's pretty amazing. We started seeing that last few nights ago when I started showing the crystals. This is a show dedicated to cosmic truth, disclosure, your UFO sightings, ET visitations. But we're certainly not here for satire. That's the last thing we're here to do. But I
and
appreciate
disclosure within the government.
right.
That's our main. We want encounters and disclosure because
Right.
80% of the population has had some type of a sighting or encounter they just can't explain.
So one person says, "Oh, they got muted." Good, Chesno. Thanks to muting the thing. Do we know what we're talking about? That's a loaded question, man. But they have been muted. And yes, we do know what we're talking about. I've been on radio for a lot of years. I'm a contactee. Down the rabbit hole's had his sightings and his information. Most of the people in here have had recordings of UFOs or UAPs. And yes, we know what we're talking about. I love it when people say, "Do you know what you're talking about?" No, I just get on here to just spend 2 hours on the air talking about nothing I know. I know
No,
nothing.
we know that the government is hiding a lot more. And Mr. Naysayers, we have information directly from contact within the government on multiple fronts, not just one contact. We have a few.
And Mystic Warrior said, "I saw one last night, and let me see what's happening here, man."
Mystic Warrior.
We have somebody who wants to come on live, Marcel King. Let's see what we have. Marcel King is going to come on and hopefully share some interesting things related to our whole topic. Marcel King of Wisdom. Welcome to Encounters, my co-host
Hello,
down in
Thank
Rabbit
you,
Marcel,
Hole.
thank
King of
you.
Wisdom. Share your encounter.
So, guys, the US government and the other world government, they've been knowing about we are not alone from since 1920s. They are hiding about there is life in the universe. So
Yes, they are.
Oh, the
even
government, yeah,
yes,
they've been.
even US and other governments like UK and Canada and the Chinese, the Russians, they have special programs of recovery of crushed UFOs on Earth. So even they have back engineering of other spacecraft like those systems. For example, the Roswell crash in 1947. It was a real crash in Roswell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and at that time they said on the radio it was a crash of a flying saucer, but then they backed up and they said there was a balloon, a meteor balloon. But actually, it was a crash from Zeta Reticulum. It was a flying saucer beam ship with hyperspace capabilities to fly into space, collapsing time and space in a fraction of a second. So that beings they found on the crash in Roswell in 1947, they were androids. Actually, they were artificial organic AI. Yeah, and they were built by the people in that star system, in Zeta Reticulum, to explore the universe in our star system. So even the US government that time, they didn't know they were artificial humans, yeah? Even I think today, maybe they realized they were biological, organic AI,
That has
artificial
been,
androids.
yeah, it has been talked about on social media, or at least this alternative aspect of it for many years about the particular beings being like, it's like having, they're like the little worker bees, and then there's the people that are more involved in controlling what they do when they come here.
Yeah, sometimes they send their because this civilization, some of them they're so advanced, in science. They build all these artificial humans, like androids, organic AI. They have like
And who do you think is building the Marcel? Who do you think is building what you're talking about?
the artificial android.
Oh, the artificial
Yeah,
androids
who's
are,
building them?
yeah, but who's building them? Yeah.
Who's building who? The advanced civilization?
No, the advanced civilizations, they exist. God
Yeah.
creates everything in the multiverse, but who's creating these androids or whatever we're speaking of?
These people in Zeta Reticulum, like for example, the one crushed on Roswell in 1947. These people in Zeta Reticulum, they build
Oh,
these androids with the physiognomy of their people, their civilization, like they were looking the ones
yeah.
found at the crushing site. Some
Hmm.
like us, some civilization like us, like Pleiadian, called Pleiad or Pleiades. They build like human like
Palladium.
us, like blonde eyes, blue eyes, blonde hair, black hair, or green eyes, or
And the
Oh
Palladians,
wow, yeah.
the
yes.
Palladians themselves were created by the same creator that created the humans and other planetary systems that have very, beautiful, whether it be blue people, brown or black people from other planets, that they
Yeah,
come from.
I don't know if you heard about the case of this guy Billy Meyer. He said he's
Oh,
the reincarnation of
I
a
know
true
about Billy
prophet.
Meyer. I had friends that
Yeah,
went to his farm. I know people that went to his farm back in the day and
yeah, in
and quote me
Switzerland.
back
Yeah.
pictures.
So this guy he wrote over 50,000 pages about all this universal evolution, and he was instructed and guided by this Pleiades, like blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, from Pleiades system, star system. And this guy, they say they have this like these people in Zeta Reticulum,
Yeah,
like with hyperspace capabilities. So in 7 hours they are on our star system. So they speed up over the speed of light in their star system. Then they can speed close to their star system because they can disturb the rotation of the planets in their star. So all the time they speed up outside of their star system, like 150 million kilometers away. Yeah, because when they accelerate in hyper in over the speed of light, they can disturb all this planet rotation. So they need
yeah,
to do all the time like a rule of like a distance from the star, from the planet, like 150 kilometers away, millions, 150 millions kilometers away. Yeah. So then they speed up over the speed of light, and then they know how they have like a technology like a particle called tachyon.
yeah,
Actually, they have two drives. They have one drive is called beam light. They use around the star system and the planet atmosphere, which they can touch close to the speed of light, the speed. So then they use
yeah.
the other one for the long hyperspace, which they can in a fraction of a second they can bring them in hyperspace, and they can be in any star system around the
Wow.
galaxies, the universe, yeah, billions of light years. In a fraction of a second they can travel. Then
Yeah,
they
they,
take
they
them.
travel.
They
They travel pretty
sorry.
quick. They travel very quickly. Our space brothers and sisters have advanced technologies that are way beyond just nuts and bolts and wires and buttons. They're extremely
Yes.
advanced people.
Yeah.
I
Only
want
just
to know. I wanted to ask Marcel King of Wiz. Where are you from? Where do you come from originally?
Yeah.
I live in Canada. I'm a Canadian, Romanian.
Oh, thank you, lovely.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Romania?
From Europe, yeah.
Do you have, did they, how are the sightings over there? Do you guys have encounters the same over there?
Yeah.
And is the,
Yeah,
does the governments,
yeah,
how do
sightings.
they treat it?
Yeah, for sightings now, the last time, like in the last decade, they kind of start to increase because we
Hmm.
are from 1845, when the industrialization age started, from 1845, yeah. So in that time, it started the transition, the age of Aquarius. So this age is the age of golden age, or the age of knowledge and wisdom. So we pass from the age of Pisces, which was the age of beliefs.
Yeah.
So now people, they become more aware about all this universal conscious. They become more aware we are not alone. We are like living with billions, millions, billions of other advanced civilization in the
Hmm.
Milky Way or in the universe, more evolved or less evolved than us. So the sightings of UFO people, all this exploration of other civilization started to increase for in the last decade.
Wow.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of
yeah, the plus in ancient time when they came all these advanced humans like 400,000 years ago, it says in all these Billy Meier contact reports, all these advanced humans they came and they built civilization here on Earth. They had wars, they had nuclear wars. The primitive humans they start to worship them like gods, you know, in Egypt, in Greece, and all these civilization on Earth. So all these
Wow.
artifacts, they build all these artifacts with the power
So
of
those were all
sound.
ETs.
Yeah, so we are kind of descendants of all these advanced humans because they kind of upgrade our DNA. You know, they mingled with their DNA, like the story of Adam and Eve,
yeah.
and yeah, and they made us to evolve faster to become more conscious, knowledgeable, you know, and intelligent like them. So yeah, they came in ancient time. They built civilization here. They built Atlantic civilization on different islands in the Mediterranean Sea and
Yeah.
Atlantic Azores Island. They built the Great Atlantis. They built most civilization Gobi Desert, where it was all green. Today is just a desert. They built the city under the earth, like Akarta, Alpha and Beta,
Oh, yeah. So
like
under the earth, you're talking about the Agartha network, which is also the subterranean cities beneath the earth that we live in, which do exist. And
yeah,
there are a
it's
number of
true.
places under there.
Yeah, the Hartian, the Moon civilization, they had a war with Atlanteans, and Atlantis, they had a big fleet of flying saucers, very advanced, 15,000 years ago. They got in a war with Mu civilization, Gobi Desert. The Atlantis, they took their fleet, and one day they wiped out all the civilization surface of Gobi Desert. The one who escaped, they escaped under the Akarta, under the ground. Today they are living there too. All these flying saucers, they are seen, they are from Akarta,
Yeah.
from under the ground. They have a city in Alpha and Beta. Alpha, I think, is under the Gobi Desert, and Beta, it's under Himalaya. And it's
How'd you
like,
learn? I got to ask you, this is Encounters, the UFO Disclosure Talk Show. Very interesting. How did you learn all this stuff? Where'd you get all your information from
so
over
all
time?
this I got from the contact report, you know, you can find them
Tony
here in
Myers
English.
reports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can find
Tony
him here in
Myers.
English here at this feature of mankind. I wrote in the chat, featureofmankind.co.uk. So there are
Mm.
like hundreds of reports
Have
there in
you had
English.
any encounters?
Sorry?
Have you had any encounters?
No, for me, no, I didn't have. Like maybe I saw like a few times like some lights in the skies, and maybe they were like flying saucers in the night. But
Hmm.
close encounters I didn't have like yet. Maybe in the future.
Well, I've never had an encounter with an ET personally, but UFOs for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
UFOs. Yeah,
yeah. So these guys, the Pleiades, just they let this guy in 70, 80 when was the all this digitalization age developed to take clear picture of their flying saucer, like over 1,500, like clear picture in the daylight, not just light in the sky in the night. Clear picture of their flying saucer. You can see some on my page on TikTok with their advanced flying saucer and their picture of this Pleiad and Pleiades,
Pleiades. Yeah,
advanced humans. They can live over 1,000 years. Their goal was to bring awareness we are not alone, and that human. They say they went far away from the spiritual way of the true path of
yeah,
evolution. They
yeah.
we start all this in society to destroy the planet. We multiply too many. We are overpopulated. So they want to make us aware, like to bring all this you can call them recommendation because they can interfere in our politics or religions, but they can advise us. It's up to us if you want to become responsible for our planet, for our lives, individual, with our
Right.
government, society. So they're watching all these nuclear sites and years, whatever, you know, all these military they try to
Well,
shut down their flying saucer,
and
but
you
they
know,
can do because
Marcel, Marcel,
Yeah.
you know that the Palladians are going to be the first ones soon to make official contact with the people of this planet. That's going to be coming up in 2027.
Uh,
Our
I don't know.
You didn't know about
I
that?
don't
I'm
know.
sharing information. The Palladians. Have you heard of the gentleman named Daryl Anka or Paul Anka? Daryl Anka is Paul Anka the singer. Daryl Anka is the communicator with a being called Bashar of the Essassani. And they stated in the beginning of this year, in one of his gatherings, he spoke. This Bashar being spoke, who he communicates with, and said that 2027 is going to be the beginning of contact. And what do you think the first grouping of galactics are going to be that are coming here? The Palladians. Get this, folks.
Pleiadians, they are
The
already
Palladians.
for thousand years the Pleiadians, they are watching us for
But
thousand
they're
years,
not
and
just, but
they
they're not
prepare
just going
all
to be
these
watching us.
prophets.
They're
They
going to be
prefer all,
coming here.
yeah. I don't know if they will be official because they said already we are not yet to have an official contact. They tried to have with US government contact in 1775, but the CIA they turned it back because they were putting their condition, and it was too hard for the to accept,
Yeah, they're coming back in 2027 based on collaboration of information from the last few months that I've been looking at. The
What they said
Palladians are going to be,
What they said to this contract report with the prophet Bilima, they said we need to still grow up and become more true human beings, like to study all this spiritual teaching and get united like nation on the planet and
yeah,
to take care of the planet and all the population because already we destroy so much this planet with we are like over 9 billion peoples and this planet can maximum 1 billion can hold with all its resources so we need like 8 planets more like Earth to put all the rest of the people.
yeah,
So we need to special all these countries like India, China, or African or South American. They need to control their population. They need to kill them. They need just to put like birth controls and people who can afford having kids or not having 10, 20, just 3 kids per family if you can afford it or you are ready to educate them and give them a decent life. Otherwise, you should have zero, if you are not prepared mentally, physically,
yeah.
no
I mean
illness,
that's
no.
true, but from the creator standpoint, I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. I've been a contactee. My first contact was with men,
Ash,
women, and children on board a ship. Yes, I work
Asher,
directly with the.
Asher Command was, what his name was, his real name of the Asher Command.
Well, no, the Ashtar, the person I work with the actual space command, the not anything Earth based on the internet.
If you
The
read,
Ashtar, the Ashtar comes from beyond Earth. Before there was internet, I was in contact. My friend Athena, she knew all the contactees from the 1950s that were trying rock, before many of them passed away.
if you read,
So, and she,
If you read the contact report of Billy Ward, this Ashtar guy, he was an ET of like a player origin, but he was kind of like a split part, and they were living under Giza pyramids in 70, 80, yeah. So then this guy, he was like kind of greedy for power, and he was trying to take over the earth, and they were
what
kind of
guy?
to
What guy?
this guy
What guy was
Ashtar.
trying to take
His
over?
real name was
No,
Arusek.
no, no.
His real name
That's
was Arusek.
misinformation. Misinformation. I work with
Yeah,
the real Ashtar command. Misinformation.
yeah, I don't
Ashtar
know,
is
but
not a greedy guy. Ashtar and Athena are two space beings that are very loving and spiritual. Wherever that information is coming from, it's coming from the internet, from misinformation agents. It's not true. I
they
work with the
say
Ashtar
this
Yeah.
guy
command.
Ashtar went in another universe and attacked another advanced
No,
civilization,
that's not
and then he
true.
was
You're giving now,
eliminated.
now you no, now you're giving misinformation. I worked directly with Ashtar command. I worked
Yeah,
with it before there
I
was
don't know.
internet.
But this I
No,
read in the
your
contact
information
reports.
is coming from somewhere. It's not coming from truth. It's coming from somewhere else, unrelated to truth about Ashtar.
Yeah,
I work with Ashtar command. I do. I work
I
with
see.
Ashtar.
Okay, if you
I
say,
work. Okay. I'm just saying. I love you, brother. You're getting your information from somewhere else, from someone who wrote it, and their information is wrong. It's
Yeah,
it's written by a human being. It's wrong information. Do not
I know,
trust
but
the information.
There is so much disinformation out there,
yeah,
Marcel.
you
You
need
know,
to filter
when
what
we
is good.
speak with
Yeah,
our government, when we speak with our government contacts, the level of deception is so what they want is they want people in our community to have there's got to be a bad guy, right?
Right. There's
So
got to be a bad.
they've got to create a narrative. But at the end of the day, 98% of all of the species intergalactic are rooting for us.
That's right.
yeah. The government they had like a secret plan to create all this back engine of the crushing flying saucer from other stars, and to create like a ET fake attack on Earth, and to put the martial law, to introduce the martial law, and
I believe that that might be a possibility
yeah. So they create all
because we
this.
have the technology to do it.
Yeah, they create all these movies like War of the Worlds and all this to create like fear mongering, around the globe on US and everywhere. So like to portray the ETs like bad guys and they're coming, and but actually they try to do with their flying back engineering saucer, from the
And let me,
all this advanced technology.
and I've got to say this, and again, I've been a contactee since the 60s. When I was a kid, I had my first contact with space people physically. I told this story right in Long Island in a cul-de-sac, going up, opening my brother's window shades and seeing men, women, and children that just came to remind me that I didn't come from Earth. I came from Mars. That's where my planet's from that I came from. I physically came here in birth from Mars. I physically came here on mission with the Ashtar Command before there was any internet or misinformation or disinformation. The information that people get, I've got to say this because there's a lot, it's for years, all kinds of lies about Ashtar, about the Ashtar Command on this planet. And the reason why there's so many disinformation lies is because the Ashtar Command comes in pure peace and love. They don't do anything other than work in Christ consciousness. So when people talk about Ashtar and getting their information about Ashtar and saying, well, Ashtar did this and he did that, you're getting stuff from people that have internet websites creating all kinds of disinformation that's pure lies. And I have to say that because
Yeah, false flag.
it's all false lies. When false lies are promoted by people's websites, and that's where people are getting information and they trust that information, do not trust information about Ashtar Command that's against the Ashtar Command unless you want to talk to a person like me who's been with the Ashtar Command before there was even internet. I work with someone who works with the Ashtar Command when there was
Yeah,
no. She worked with all the contactees, like not just Billy Meyer, Giant Rock. If you study the people at
yeah.
Giant Rock, those
Itself
people all had
was
contact
human
with
life
Venusian.
on Mars. Hundreds of thousands of years ago was life on Mars, and even there was a planet between Mars and Earth with human life, which was called
Well,
Melona. It was blown up by advanced ETs in a nuclear war.
and let me tell you about Mars. Mars right now, because there's 10 to 15 million inhabitants, Martian people that live on Mars in peace. Mars had problems billions of years ago. They got through it, and they live in a much more advanced civilization. There's no religions on Mars. Everybody on Mars
Oh,
lives in
Tim,
harmony. Go ahead.
you've got I'm sorry, go finish up, but we've got somebody else in the chat that has a story.
Let's get that story from the person in
Timothy.
the
Okay,
chat.
guys, I need to go. Okay, good night. Nice talking with you.
Thank
And
you,
this other
Marcel, King of
person,
You're
Wisdom. Thank
welcome. You're
you.
welcome. Good night.
this
Take care.
the person
Good night.
attacking Ashtar, they're going to be blocked out of here. We're not going to have that in here. It's just not happening. I think it was something or whatever it was. The one thing when you start talking about Ashtar, and we're going to get that person's story, you're talking to somebody working with the command. So if trolls come in here trying to pull that kind of stuff, in love and light, we're just going to knock them out. That's the end of it, man. And who wanted to come on about a story
It was
there?
Timothy.
Timothy,
His
we'd
name
love
was
to hear your story.
Timothy.
Where is Timothy? Is he around here?
Did he hit the guest invite me? Timothy Duvall.
Also, Mad S. Red, do they live in the center of Mars or on the surface? Mad, to answer your
No,
question,
not
yes.
Levick, not him. There was a guy in the chat, Levick, that
No,
was saying that
yeah.
Ashtar Not Marcel.
Not Marcel. Mad, they do the 10 to 15 million people live mostly in the inner part of Mars, but they live on the surface in some parts of Mars. Let me see here.
Did Timothy send the invite?
Commander Timothy wants to join chat. Where's Commander Timothy? Timothy, are you there?
Timothy Duvall.
I'm going to go on
He
my
says
guest list here and see.
I can't see an invite. There, he
Where is it?
just put his name in the
I found
chat.
it. I got him now. I just invited him.
There we
We
go.
got him. We got the commander's got him on here. Hey, Timothy, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
We're doing
Good.
good.
Hello. Welcome.
Trying to keep the trolls out of our talk show here, but we're doing good.
Yeah. Try to stay far away from the trolls, and hopefully they stay under the bridge.
Yeah, definitely, right?
So
Hey,
you have an encounter story.
do you want to turn your
So,
camera on?
no, I mean maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel a little more comfortable right now just doing this way. I'm in the dark anyway, so I'm
Oh,
smoking
forget
my
it. Yeah,
cigarette.
just
So
do it the way you're doing it. That's fine.
yeah. So okay, so two sightings in my life, and I'm almost 100% positive. The second one I caught on video, and it was like 3 weeks ago. It was right after, because I talked to you on this live, like, it was a few weeks ago, and right after that, I was driving down. I live in Brooksville, Florida. Just driving down
Yeah,
the main little highway over here, State Road 50. Saw like a red light, like whoosh, in the sky, and it looked like it almost like there was like a hazy red light. Okay. And then I was like, oh shit. I pulled my camera out. Excuse my language. I pulled my camera out. I'm kind of a sailor in that way. I'm sure there's space pirates, right?
yeah, there are
Yes.
probably. Yeah,
Pulled my camera out and I caught it. Now I will post that because I'm talking about it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So check that on my page within probably tomorrow. I'll make
Tomorrow,
a little
okay.
video about it. But I saw it pop up in the sky. And in Brooksville, it's like, it's not like, it's pretty populated, but it's not crazy. So I know you could see stuff better in the sky here. It's not as polluted. Um, and so I'm filming and I'm watching it, and it started to get a little smaller.
Mhm.
And then it looked like it shot away. Like I just
Wow.
watched it like disappear, like go, like when I was
Hey,
looking at it, you could tell
was
that it
it
went out.
headed like towards Tampa?
No, it went towards, I would say, the other coast, because I was going away from the Gulf
Wow.
Coast, heading east, and it went that direction. Like it went.
Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a crazy story real quick, Tim. I was with my wife 3 weeks ago we were driving off of Bellamy Brothers Road, and we saw something red shooting off in the sky. Um, and it was wild. It was wild.
And
And that's
okay,
in
so
that area.
where you
We were
guys,
in your area
dude, dude. So it was like a few weeks ago, right?
3 weeks ago,
Wow.
right before it got dark, 7:30, 8 o'clock,
Yeah, it was maybe a little,
8:30.
could have been around that time, but you may have seen the same thing as me. I don't think that's just a coincidence.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think it is either.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
saw it.
think
We
it's so
saw it like shooting through the sky, and then like a cloud like blocked it off, and then we saw it again like a few hundred, a few thousand feet again, but it had like a tail.
Oh, okay. Now, see, when I seen it, it was pretty high in the sky when I seen it.
Yeah,
So, say you're driving down the road and you look up into the distance and up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it was up there and out there, but you still could have seen the same thing. You see the way those things move. It could have
yeah.
went down. It could have shot. They go any direction on the snap of a finger. They're surpassing space time. You know, from my theory, from what I've studied, they're passing, they pass space and time like we don't even comprehend. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely. Yeah, they do. They do.
yeah, that's why they can go
You know,
underwater.
you've got a secret military base up there by you in Brooksville, Florida.
Yeah, I've seen people like the Apache helicopters flying and stuff in the past.
Yeah,
See though
over
that they're.
there, there's an airport over there that has a secret bunker.
Oh, okay. I
I've
didn't
been
know that.
trying to get in there for years.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I've heard like a little bit about it. Um, but I'll tell you about my first encounter now. So that was my second encounter, and that one was red. So my first one was when I was 17 or 18 years old, and I was in Holiday, Florida. So it's a little bit
Hmm.
south of where I live now, maybe like
Hmm.
45 to an hour away, going south of Florida. And we're sitting in the car together, and it's me and my girlfriend. We're young. I was dropping her off at her parents' house at the end of the night, so we are kind of just driving slow and talking before I took her home. And I kind of circled the neighborhood a little bit. And we looked up into the sky, and I saw a blue light.
Wow.
And I looked at it, caught my eye. I'm like, oh, that looks different. And I'm watching it for a minute, and it looked like it like swooped around like a U, and then it shot off into space. Like I watched it go into like light speed and just take off. And
Yeah.
I
Wow.
was 17.
Wow.
Remember it like it was yesterday. That's how it
Yeah.
was burned in me.
You never forget anything like that, Timothy. You never forget, it's just like when I tell my stories, I don't forget any one of those sightings.
Mhm.
It's just like imprinted, you find that to be the way with the sightings when you have them, they just stay imprinted in your consciousness, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. There's no
Yeah.
those images are burned into me. They're
Yeah,
burned in. Yep.
they are.
Yep. Well, that's how we
Incredible
remember
stuff.
is motion and repetition. But when you
Yeah.
see something like that, it's definitely emotion because it just everything in you is just in awe of what just happened, and your mind catches it and it doesn't go away, man. It doesn't go
Now,
away.
No,
yeah,
definitely. It's a
do you
it's
do
experience.
do you do C5, Timothy? Do you have the C5 app, or I mean, you're already having encounters, whether you want them or not, you're having them. But do you have the C5 app that Dr. Stephen Greer has created?
No.
You should get it. You download it if you have an iPhone or an Android phone. It's like maybe $10. You download it. There's networking to contact people locally by the region. It has the tones that are used to vector in the ships, meditation things, and he has a guided meditation he conducts in the recording. And we have a C5 group in Connecticut, our Ashtar group, which we're looking at the weather this weekend to see if it's going to be conducive to go out and broadcast on TikTok our C5. If this weekend doesn't happen, we're going to do it the following weekend. And so that's why I mentioned everybody here should have or download the C5 app. How many people here know about the C5 app? I bet you if we do a little poll, some people have no idea what it is.
Mhm. I'll definitely get it. I'll look into it, man.
Yeah,
Um,
check it out.
Hey, Timothy,
You
I gotta ask you, did you lose internet last night
uh, no, I didn't.
after
I was
1 a.m. for like maybe an hour?
No, I don't recall losing any internet. I was on playing Magic Arena
See,
online, so I didn't lose any
yeah,
internet.
see, it
Yeah.
was only in this small little area
Yeah, down the rabbit
because
hole and I were live. Yep.
he's only 30 minutes north of me.
Really?
Oh, no,
So
are you in
Timothy,
like you're on Port Richie or something?
I'm in North Tampa, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So like Lutz, maybe Wesley Chapel.
he's
Yeah,
right near
yeah,
the Air
you're
Force
like
Base.
30 minutes up the expressway. I'm
I'm
right
right
by
down the
McDill.
road.
I'm at
That's funny.
McDill.
Okay,
Now, guess what?
I'll pull out of the port. What's up, buddy?
Timothy, we were on last night, my co-host Down Rabbit Hole and I, and as he were on, he was getting frozen on his screen. The next thing you know, he's talking about a cloud over his house. Now, it's not a regular cloud. The rest of the sky was clear. The temperatures, and he had other people on here in Florida near him saying that the temperatures went down. There was the humidity went, I mean, the way it was, the way he explained it, there was more than one person that were on our live from Florida in that region where he is, and they said, oh, yeah. Then he talks about now
Yeah,
this
there was
Air
a
Force
lady in
base.
Riverview and another one in Clearwater that both felt pretty chilly last night.
Yeah,
Ah,
you know, it's
that's
related to
some-
this ship. It was a ship ionized to look like a cloud, but it wasn't a cloud. So then the military sent these helicopters out to try to chase it or find it. It zipped out of that area. And when Down had this happen to him, he was explaining it. And I think it was a very positive force. Obviously, the military was able to try to track it, or they would have brought up their helicopters, right? Do you think they were able to track it on radar or something?
I don't think so. They would have sent out the jets, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but how come the helicopters went up?
Well, they were big helicopters, so maybe they have some type of special equipment on them.
Yeah,
have,
I
have
get
you
the
guys
feeling they were trying to track it, but they weren't able to, though.
have you guys ever heard the
But
stories where the aircraft approach the UFOs and the UFOs just dance around them
Yeah,
like nothing, you know?
oh,
it's great.
we've got a video.
We have a video that was public
We've got
knowledge.
some crazy video.
And
No
the
way.
video we have right down the rabbit hole, the video we have was confirmed and looked at by a former NSA official who's, for disclosure, the DOD, are contacting the DOD, Shy, and her former NSA person looked at this video, and they actually showed these objects taken out MH370, the Malaysian flight. Now, and taken out is not the right word for it, but taken somewhere else is probably the right word for it. And we have that posted right here. We have it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and you'll see these ships. They're spaceships, UFOs or whatever, spinning around the commercial airline flight. And then at the very end of the video, it disappears, like it went into another dimension.
Yeah.
And
Did
we
you
have
see
that
the
video.
video, Tim?
I want to see that. What's up?
Oh, I was asking if you saw the video. Yeah, it's on Commander's page.
Yeah,
What we see is a satellite image and a drone image playing simultaneously. It's wild.
yeah,
Oh wow.
it is. Max said he watched it today.
I'm
Everyone should watch that video. It's going to blow your
Uh,
mind.
I'm
and to the
fascinated by
people in
this.
the chat saying it's disgusting, that plane did not crash. That plane was teleported off of this planet. We have
That's right.
multiple government sources that confirmed that this happened.
Right. It never crashed.
That the Australian government was in on it. They put fake plane debris out there,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and whatever it was, whether it was our UAPs or extraterrestrials, somebody took them off planet. But the commander believes that they were took
Yeah.
to
And
another dimension to
I
learn.
think what Hedgehog Mom is saying, it's disgusting that we've been lied to. I'm trying to read the sentence. I'm sick
Oh,
about
okay,
it.
okay.
That's about. So we're all sick about the lies and about what happened.
I'm sorry, Chenzo. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Hedgehog Mama. Peace and
Yeah.
love. I thought you meant that the flight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, none related to that. None related to that. But yeah, everyone should watch this video because our contact in the DOD and her former NSA analyst looked at the video, and you're going to see that we are the disclosure show here. We have our inside contacts in the government, and I think we're going to get more. And I think I'm shy. We'll have people that she'll probably connect with that can give us some information who have TikTok. So we have a way. We have so many things that are happening. And again, I would implore everybody to be proactive. I mean, 161 people. Everyone download the C5 app if you have an Apple phone or an Android phone. It's like $10. We are disclosure. So that means that you're going to create local groups all over the
Mr.
world.
Destiny has a story.
Destiny?
C5.
Let me see.
Matt down.
Mr. Destiny has an encounter story they want to come share.
Mr. Destiny,
Tim,
we
you're
know.
welcome
We
to
know
stay and
Mr.
hang out with
Destiny.
us.
Mr. Destiny's been on before. My brother, Mr. Destiny. We're going to have him on, and we welcome him back to the show. And Mr. Destiny, welcome back as a guest on Encounters.
Hey, Mr.
Hey,
Destiny.
ladies and gentlemen, hello. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I've been here once before. I was excited
Yes, you
then. I'm
have.
excited now. I look forward to explaining some things to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't have much time, unfortunately, but it's always a pleasure. So I always encourage you to ask questions and do your own research. Okay, I'm gonna start with some things that see. Okay, my background is in intelligence. Spent a decade with Uncle Sam. I'm a Gateway graduate from the Monroe Institute. I have been in different circles. I am a remote viewer. I train people to remote view, and I train people to have out-of-body experiences. These are the two most significant ways to obtain information. It's important when we talk about espionage. Okay, I said I don't have much time. I'm
Oh,
excited.
okay.
Just let me I encourage you to ask questions and do your own research. They're not able to come here physically because they're acclimated to zero G. So you're not going to be able to really just have an interview and sit down and talk to what you would like to call ET. Okay. Now, we don't use the term aliens because it's derogatory, right?
Right, that's right.
They have names. What you mentioned was transubstantiation. Transubstantiation is how they cloak these machines. And when I visited you into the past, I've mentioned that we put the bands on our heads. That's how we're able to fly our machines. Most of them are piloted. At least they're not piloted with an individual occupant. They may be remotely piloted. Okay, transubstantiation. The big push now for this earth realm is transference. I just mentioned transubstantiation. Now I'm talking about transference. Transference is the blending of man and machine. We all have what's known as Google. So transference and transubstantiation. So incomes, intuitive communication. That is how you are able to be in contact, right? Telepathy.
Following.
And we're not talking
We're
about
following.
telekinesis. We can talk about telekinesis. I encourage you to ask questions and do your own research. We're talking about telepathy now. Incoms, intuitive communications. Okay. Now, you mentioned I had a story, right? All right. Now, I talk about it because it's healthy for me. All right. Now, it's also important for you to try to ask questions, do your own research. So, my belief structure was shattered when I was allowed to see a friend of mine initiated into a group of Masons. Now, I'm not one. Now, I've done my research and I've sought insight. Remember, I mentioned that, Commander. I seek insight.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is my way of trying to get help, right?
Hmm.
And now I'm bound until a certain Earth time, right? Now, I say that because once you reach a certain level of awareness, experience is a direct route to learning, much like remote viewing. That's why we talk about the two most significant ways to obtain information. So just allow me a second. I know you got some questions. All chat, all right? Whew. Now, collectively, if you leave the surface of this planet, right, Tiamat, you know it takes 24 hours for one soul cycle, right, one sun cycle. But if you're about 280 300 miles off the surface, and if you're around that space for like 20 minutes, that's 1 day on Earth. So if you're far enough away for an hour, that you miss 3 days, right? So they don't age. Remember, I said that the reason you're not able to sit down and talk to anyone like that is because they're not acclimated, right? Okay, I got you. Check this out.
Now, when you're saying not acclimated, we're talking about we're not at the same vibrational pattern as they are, correct?
Yes, only because you have to be able to be spiritually aware,
Hmm.
right? You have to be spiritually aware. And that was my next point. You know how actually right here in this realm, anti-gravity was developed? Check it out, right? They put it on submarines. That's why you see the cigar-shaped crabs, right? They're old. Those are kind of they're like cargo ships because they could they could be decompressed. No matter how far and high it goes, you can still maintain the same fuselage atmosphere. I'm trying to be careful with my terminology because there's a lot of people, right? All right, I don't want to go that route. So I see my friend initiate into a group of Masons. When I was allowed to see that, I had an experience with someone who told me that he was from here, but his parents were from Mars. And I challenged him and I asked him a question. I spent a considerable amount of time with this person who designated me as a contact. And I asked him questions about Jesus. I asked him questions about God. I asked him questions about UFOs, man. I asked him questions about everything in the amount of time I was able to. And I wasn't the only one there.
Right.
Some other people were there, right? But they were skipped, right? What does that mean? See, once you reach a certain level of awareness, and I'm not a Mason, but from what I understand, once you reach a certain level of awareness, certain individuals can extract information and as well as insert information, right?
I
Remember, I
believe
said
that.
Yeah.
there was some people around me who had a quote unquote skip pulled on them. Okay, I'm careful with my terminology. Polysomnambulism, hypnotism. Okay, that's essentially what it really boils down to. So
And Mr. Destiny's taking questions. So if people have questions of Mr. Destiny, he's been a guest on my show
absolutely,
before. And we have
absolutely,
all
yes.
kinds
Let's
of
get it
wonderful
on.
guests like Mr. Destiny, all different
Let's get it
perspectives,
on.
contactees, people that have visitations. So ask questions, folks, in the room here. People on the program on This Is Encounters, our late night UFO show will be going to 1:30 because I'm on the East
Yes,
Coast.
sir.
So I have to remember I got on here around 11 tonight. So understand it's not that I don't want to go, but I can't do an all nighter. That's for sure. Maybe a good one night. If you have a question for us, please join us on Encounters and share your questions. So we'd love to have them. You can even come in on the live here with your questions. Let me see who we got here. Mr. B. Mr. B wants to come on here, so we're going to bring him on. We have multi guests tonight.
Awesome.
Mr. B. Mr. B, welcome to the show. Mr. B.
Yo, I was on here earlier today. What up, bro?
Yes, you were. How you doing? Good to see you,
I'm
brother.
I'm doing great. I'm on my lunch break. Now, I
Well,
got a
it's
couple
good to
minutes.
have you back.
I got a couple minutes. I got a couple minutes. Now, me personally, I mean, I'm I had the roughest life, been in jail, been in
Mhm,
prison, whatever.
mhm.
So, with that said, I mean, anybody can be gifted. So, this is what I gotta say. I had this vision one day, like I know for a fact, it's 6 alternative planet Earths. They all look the same. It's 6 of them. It was 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. But you said not astral travel, but what was the other one? When you see a destination, Mr. Destiny, what was that
Remote
called?
viewing. You're probably talking about
Okay,
remote viewing. Yeah.
okay. Now, what I found out, the eyes are a gateway to the soul. It's like when I look at the people, when I look at someone's eyes, if it's a picture, I look at their eyes and I can see everything about them, what they did, what they like doing, all that. So now,
Yeah.
so what you're talking about, is it like similar to that? So what would I need to do? Because I was trying to like remote view certain places, but I really couldn't get in there.
Hmm.
Can I give you an example? types of remote viewing. All right, there's something called coordinated remote viewing, which is CRV, where certain operatives would use latitude and longitude coordinates to, for example, remote view nuclear missile sites.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's also something called advanced remote viewing, where you would be able to use the technique to say find a lost set of car keys. Right now, remote viewer is not going to go into a grocery store and automatically know where the light bulbs are. Okay,
Yeah.
so remote viewing is essentially silencing your internal dialogue, going into sometimes the mind awake body sleep state. It doesn't have to be that extreme. You could still sit in front of a monitor. See, sometimes there's solo sessions where it's just a remote viewer with a target, and the remote viewer is blind to the target. The target may be in an envelope, or it could be a missing person. It could be, like I said, a latitude and longitude coordinate, right?
Yeah.
Now, it could be a double session where you have a monitor. Now, see, the monitor and the remote viewer themselves essentially should be blind to the target. It means a third party had given a monitor the target. The monitor had never opened the target and had slid it to the remote viewer, right? See, the
Yeah.
remote viewer uses each of your senses. See, when I say silence your internal dialogue, that means see how long you can go without having any thoughts, right? And oftentimes, once you start exercising this, then you go, I said, into the mind awake body sleep state, okay? And from
Yeah.
there, you can use certain techniques in which I teach to float out of your body, essentially. And you're attached by the etheric cord, which is attached to the solar plexus, which is one of the main chakras, right? You're a spark of the eternal flame. You float through the ceiling, you float through the floor. There's nothing physical in the non-physical realm of existence. Now, remote viewing and out of body experience is essentially tied in together. So your question is, how could you be more aware, become more spiritually aware, silence your internal dialogue, see how long you can go without having any thoughts, right? You listen to the fan in the room or your AC, because your mind cycles, and then you'll find yourself knowing the timing of the cycling, okay? So remote viewing and out of body experience is how we collectively, turn our awareness inward to make the change happen outside of us.
Because we're
Okay.
connected to everything.
Does that kind of answer the question, Mr. B?
Yeah. Now I want to add this. Now there's a lot of people that will be able to do certain things, and there's not a lot that won't. But I'm gonna tell you, it starts with the heart. This stuff works off of love. If you don't seriously share this love, you will never evolve. Never. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you'll be stuck.
Can I
So
say
I mean,
something?
Yeah.
I appreciate
Strongest
that. I
energy.
love you for saying that, yo. Listen, I just appreciate that. Give me a second, fellas. Listen, hold on. This is not something that's easy for me to do. I told you, I've been my background is in intelligence, man. You know what I'm saying? And certain assignments when you deal with these people, man, they shit is lasts for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to get more comfortable about reaching out to Commander. You notice I talked to you about this. I'm trying to get more
Yeah.
comfortable with being able to use these resources because never in human history has been a time where you can connect with people instantly like this.
Yeah.
And it is belief shattering sometimes. And some people,
Hmm.
it's harder to heal from psychological wounds and physical wounds.
Yeah.
See, so that's why the science is not for everybody. Because when the Masons in their lodge they teach the witchcraft, some people aren't prepared for it, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is trying to alleviate the day-to-day pressures because it's not something that's outside of you; it's within us. All right, Mr. B.
Right.
yep,
I've heard that before. Everybody looks outside, but it's really within all of us. Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing within us, just so that people know, this is the host, CmdrAleon. I'll just let people know who are on right now. You're watching Encounters, our late night spiritual UFO talk show, the show that's most talked about throughout social media here. Welcome every of my guests, Mr. Destiny, Mr. B, Riley, Customer Guitar, Timothy DeVoyle, Down the Rabbit Hole, my co-host. And I'm also contacting, I work in Christ consciousness. So, the whole thing within is really important, folks. And for me, when you work in the Christ consciousness, that's working in the frequency of love and understanding. And that's what our space brothers and sisters who are of the spiritual light, that's how they operate, always. always within that level.
I appreciate the opportunity. It means
I
so
think
much to
that's
me. It
why I
might
got
not mean
connected
much
with
to you,
you
but it means a lot
because
to me.
No love, no
Yeah, no,
glove.
definitely.
No
You
love,
know,
no glove.
yeah, if
Some
we're void
people,
of love, then we're voided of everything that's really important.
The camaraderie, right? The fellowship.
exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Hey, now,
Yeah.
Ho,
all
when you was describing your first time visit, I saw those people in there, but I had a second thought. I originally saw the blue like uniform coat, had a small black collar, silver cuffs, and like where the zipper part at, that was silver. I saw that, but I mean, like this stuff is freakish. You know what I'm saying? So I second thought, I second guessed.
Yeah,
I said, well, they had on white, but I actually seen the blue, black collar, silver coming down the front, and silver
yeah.
cups. I saw that.
See,
And Mr.
so
Destiny,
and that's
your
embedded in
dreams.
your consciousness. Go ahead.
I saw that, Mr. Destiny. These dreams, or like cars, the black trucks coming to
Well,
get you.
I'm glad you brought that up because a precursor to being a remote viewer, especially an accurate one, is to be able to control your dreams. Once you silence your internal dialogue, old folk call it the witch on your back. You go to sleep paralysis, essentially, right? So don't be scared of it, right? Because once you build a psychic defense, then you're able to disseminate the friendly entities. We call them inspects, intelligent, neutral, special, protective energy companions. You might call them guardian angels, but you will come in
Yeah,
contact with those spirits that are constantly around you because you silence your internal dialogue. You go into the mind awake body sleep state, and you perform a rollout technique or something thereof, and then here we go, and then you could go through a Zendra portal. You feel me? So you can go
yeah,
through a Zendra portal. You could travel to different dimensions, right? But you're always attached to your etheric cord because your container is functional. So you could always come back to the same frequency, right? Because everything works off of energy, frequency, right?
yeah,
So no fear. Silence your internal. This is just for all of us. You want an optimum trajectory? You want to know your best life's course? Silence your internal dialogue and start practicing. See how long you go without having any thoughts. Eventually, you're going to the mind awake, body asleep state. Then you could try to perform a technique to have an out of body experience. And then you'll be essentially reconnected with what is all of our true selves, the collective, the source, right? Because you can know the winning lottery numbers. See, that's why it's dangerous because I don't want nobody to kidnap nobody in my family because they know I can remove you the winning lottery numbers. Okay, you can remove you the winning lottery numbers, right? You can know. Yes, the people have been talking about a cure for cancer in the chat. Yes, it's so much money involved. It's not going to be able to. You got to look for a way of service to others, man. I know service to others. I'm not gonna hold you. And I said a lot tonight, man. And like I said, it might not mean a lot to you, but it means everything for me, for you to be able to open up and allow just do like myself to come in, man. Healing is helpful. Psychological wounds are harder to heal than physical wounds. I mentioned the experience that I had with my friend and it shattered my belief structure. It took me to, I sought
Yeah,
insight, right? I went to the church, I went to the Masons. I'm still seeking insight. You know, I look at it like this. I'm going to be the only one to help me. Even though I do this from time to time and I'm trying to get more comfortable with the target on my back, I can only help me. So I'm continuously strengthening the muscle in my mind.
yeah.
And I'm I'm
You
I'm
know what?
I'm
And the thing,
thankful that you guys are talking to me, man. Go ahead.
yeah, this is really a place where we've had all kinds of people. It's amazing the stories, people having visitations in their homes with spiritual beings of life from other planets. We've had stories here that you'll never hear anywhere else because, frankly, the people that control the media don't want this kind of programming
Yeah.
on
Yes.
national TV. They don't.
True.
This is a place where real people like yourself, Mr. B, my friend down there, Rabbit Hole, Timothy, all the people in this room, and because I've been a contactee, I can relate to experiences. I have a background in broadcasting, which I'm still involved with for 20 years, doing a show on the subject of Ashtar, the spiritual
Thank you.
beings,
Thank you.
the disclosure whole thing. This is where it's at now. Things are going to be shaked up right now. And our contacts within the DOD, we have a phenomenal group of people, and everyone will get where they're going somehow, as long as they're opened up to getting to that level of oneness, centering, like our space brothers and star beings. They operate in Christ consciousness. They look at our planet and say, you know, people are into this thing, they're into that religion. There's religion planets. There's only one religion, the religion of love. That's it. They don't have structural governments, egos, all that stuff that we have on Earth. That's something that's man created or human created.
Yes.
They don't have that. You know, we created all this mess, and now there are many people waking up. But you have to be centered, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, and always operate in Christ consciousness. And it has nothing to do with religion. Christ consciousness has nothing to do with any religion on earth. It has to do with a centering in the highest level of consciousness you can be in.
Yep.
I get it. Oh, one thing, I gotta get out of here in a couple minutes. Now,
Okay, David.
the gray aliens, not the real little ones, but it's some medium-sized ones. Somebody sent me a video. A government official supposed to have been talking to this alien, and I picked up on him. And after I picked up this information, my chest was heavy. I was drained. I was sleepy. One thing for a fact, the medium-sized ones really don't like us. They feel like we're wasting this planet. We're wasting the resources. We don't deserve this place. But there is a creator. There is a top dog. And they're so scared of this being or whatever it is. They're scared to
Mm-hmm.
death of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared to death. But
It's the everlasting power of justice and truth.
and they
We're
feel we don't
protected.
deserve this place.
We're protected.
I can give you an
Yeah.
can I give you an analogy?
Yeah,
Keelan,
I'm gonna
welcome to the
sign off,
show.
but I'm gonna be listening.
Well,
All right, Mr. Big, thank you.
the analogy is basically it's just like a food for thought. Like beings that came from the source. And so this is just a make-up story, just so you can get a concept of
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
the equilibrium of what's going on actually, to my understanding. So these three beings, one of them fell in love with the two. But notice that the two got close when he wasn't around. And then so he accessed this sort of power from the source in order to separate them and be close to one of the two that he loved. Well, because that there's an order and there's a limit in the balance of the universe, what he did was he accessed power to use it in a realm that was only temporarily, which limited his time, his experience in this realm. So when he returned back to the source, he wasn't at his full percentage anymore because he always had an attachment to this realm. So that's just a quick analogy to explain how we're all connected to this source, and how we use the energy from this source will determine where we go and where we end up in the universe.
Absolutely. That's such a great statement. How we use this information, this source, which is really when the creator created all the multiverse and all the planets, and when I came here myself as from Mars, I came out of the closet when I was a kid, and my friends didn't like me anymore because I just blurted out, I'm from Mars, out of the blue moon. You know, through all the experiences we all have in life, and we all have individual experiences, Mr. Destiny, the key holder, all of us here, and everybody here, our experiences coming together now is no coincidence that this show is here. We're coming together. The reason why it's happening, because we're getting closer and closer to contact. And that is the one thing my contact off planet keeps telling me to tell people: get your act together, get in a center of love frequency, That's the way we operate off planet in our other planetary systems on a frequency of love. And if people don't operate in that frequency of love, they're going to have a hard time relating to the point of contact when a space person comes off a ship, a man or a woman, from whatever planet they are, and starts saying, I'm glad to meet you, and how are you going to react to them? Well, I'm not so happy about you being here. We have to get our act together, and that means discipline. And everyone gets their own discipline, their own way. Everyone learns their own way. Everyone grows their own way. Nobody can be forced to grow any which way. But if we all are willing to make the effort now, we're going to be so much better when that contact happens, because it's going to happen soon, and we need to be ready for it. In a
Exactly.
very we are the way showers. All of you here are way showers, believe it or not, of helping people in your community who are open to this. You're the light that's going to bring more light to the communities where you are around the planet, and we're going to help wake up people on this planet before this happens. And we have billions of people to wake up. Believe me, we have a lot of people on this planet to work with. You know,
Exactly.
Like
And
we're
one
in
of the
a time
things,
of preparation.
yeah, and one of
let's
the
say again,
things that,
Timothy.
It's like we're in a time of preparation
and
as a
Oh yeah,
and
this
collective.
is the time. Yep.
what
Yeah.
and,
What were you
and,
gonna say,
and
Keith?
Exactly.
and one of the things that I also realized, uh, we're actually like, everybody want to claim the planet and stuff like that, but this is actually like a university. This is actually like a junction where we all come together, and we chose to come to this realm. We chose to come to this planet because I have actually seen maps and places that look like it can be like Earth, but the maps look completely different. Where I was
Mm-hmm.
stationed, and I was with a whole bunch of teenagers. Each time it's like a school of people, and we're being sent somewhere.
Yeah.
And the thing that is going on, a lot of people, they might start seeing like little shadows here and there, or images in their house change, and they just think that they're bugging out, but that's not the case. Because the case that what's going on right now is that everything is just is just like colliding together. Everything is just like meshing together to the point where
Mm.
we're seeing things that's not even supposed to be in this realm. It's not because it's not supposed to be in this realm. It's because they're not trying to wait their time.
And I got some breaking news from one of our people here. FYI, 4 members of the UAP hearing committee in Washington pushing for subpoena power today. Now there's something.
Oh wow.
That's something that our
Yeah,
contact
I
in DoD.
saw something about that.
I think when Amshai is back on here, if she wishes to come on, I'm sure she'll have some more inside information on that. We have a contact in the DoD on our show here for people that don't know it, and we're getting direct information from her. And there was the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and the DoD people that are against disclosure were trying to shut about these people who are wanting, and these members of this committee that are going to go forward with this. I'm sure they have to have a lot of guts to be pushing forward with this, because it's a lot of pressure in Washington to stop any future hearings regarding disclosure. So thank you, Anchor Ann, for sharing that. I'm following Anchor Ann. It's getting about 1:43. It's almost 2 in the morning here on the East Coast. I'd like to give everybody a last minute to give a final comment, and my co-host, and then we're going to come back on tomorrow night about 11 o'clock
I just
for another
I'm just
show.
loving having all people on tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Me too.
the last comment
I'm loving having the guests.
the last comment that I want to make is, and it's a very, very vital comment. We all have to be aware. We all have to be very, very aware, because we know that what we believe is real, but also we know that the technology is super advanced. So we have to use insight. We have to use wisdom to identify the things that we are witnessing and feeling, and understand that, and reach the conclusion if it's real or if it's false.
Yeah, And I always tell people, one of the things I'm going to say is disregard most of the websites on the internet. If you want to get the truth, don't listen to another person creating a website saying this is the way it is. No. Go within yourself, learn to meditate, learn to connect with the Christed beings of light, which I call our star sisters and star brothers from other planets. You can learn how to do this. Don't trust the stuff on the internet, because most of it is either disinformation, lies, just like earlier someone was attacking the Ashtar. And had misinformation, and I had to strain them out because I've been with the Ashtar before there was internet. And I know my dear friend in California who worked with all the people that are no longer here who went on board Venusian spaceships from the giant rock days. If you study that history, there is a history of positive contact from the contactees. The books are out of print. You can find them. You can read their stories. They're beautiful stories. That was the initial part of the beginning of what's happening now. So
My
my final
gracious
comment
host.
for me is everyone get connected with who you are. Go within yourself. Don't go without to try to become something. You have it all within you. We're all created with all the stuff in our cellular structure, our DNA. Once you activate it, that's it. You are the cosmic book, but you have to remember who you are first.
My gracious
Nice,
host, allow
nicely
me to
put.
follow the signal.
God is at hand.
My gracious host, allow me to follow the signal. You've been a
Yeah.
plentiful host. It's been a joy. Allow me to
No,
follow the signal.
may,
So,
maybe Mr. Destiny would have an answer of what's been going on with this whole thing that I kind of stumbled upon. This is just a piece of aluminum foil with a crystal. But what I kind of stumbled upon is if you put it here, and you got to be, concentrating and focusing on what you're feeling, that you can almost feel a magnetic field, not wind that's moving this magnetic field. And you can feel it move this crystal. Almost like, when you put north and south together on a magnet and they resist each other, you can feel that. So my question for Mr. Destiny is I was able to move this from like 8 feet away from it, kind of like with my eyes when I believed in it, like what you guys are talking about and about love and grieving and becoming humble and serving the Lord or people. When you're in that state, the universe listens and
Yeah.
it grants you those things, but at the same time, it comes from love. If you're not in a state of love, you can't ever feel that. But when I was in those states, I've felt it probably at least 10 times because I lost my wife. And yeah, you would think it's all in times of grieving, but sometimes it wasn't. It was just when I was thankful for things that were happening in my life, or I externally needed help. That vocalization. If you got ancestors, they help you, but you got to speak it sometimes. And telepathy, I don't know if this is telepathy or, what, but like you can just goof off and do it. But it takes belief. And when your eyes like hone in on it, that's when you can really get it going. But that's what I was just like, what is this? Is it our energy? Is it telekinesis? What could it possibly be? And I just didn't know if anyone, Mr. Destiny might have had some insight to it. But I can feel, and everybody can just try, even if you don't have this and you just do this, you can feel it. But when you put this like antenna type thing, it kind of like amplifies it, and you can kind of visualize what it's doing.
It's kind of interesting that you're saying that because have you ever taken your hands and put them together and
Yeah, I've
felt
done
the
it like
energy?
this too.
Have you
Or
ever
I
felt
use
the
my
energy
eyes
flow?
and my thoughts, kind of like locking your jaw and trying to oscillate it. So if I focus without, it'll oscillate. I try to just hold it so you guys can see. If I put it on the table, it'll do it. But it's almost, it acts like a compass, even when you go like this. But I have to focus. But if I use my eyes and go like this, I can even move it.
I appreciate that, man. I'm going to have prayer for you. It sounds like, you got your mind on something real sharp, man. I'm glad you shared that with us. Thank
Yeah. So speaking of sharpness, not to cut anyone off here, again, It is getting late here on the East Coast. I love you all. I love all my guests. And I want to have more time to go into that, Riley, on an earlier evening. So tomorrow night we'll be on late night at 10:30 or 11, most likely after 11 with another edition of Encounters. I never know what's going to happen. That's why I love it. And we never know who our guests are going to be, which is beautiful. It's very spontaneous here. So please let people know about Encounters. If you don't have people that know about it, share. The one thing I will say, please share and like. Please gift our show. We depend on you for all the work we're doing on a lot of levels here, with the disclosure and so forth. And also you can go to my Venmo Cash App to donate whatever you wish to tonight. My Venmo app is on CmdrAleon 2022. And I appreciate everybody here. If you don't have anything to donate, that's fine. We want people to be here regardless of whether they have anything or not. This show is about inclusivity and bringing people together from all planetary systems that are living on Earth and all people from everywhere. So I love you all. And I want to thank everybody, Mr. Destiny, Riley, the key holder. Thanks for coming on, Timothy, and my co-host, Down the Rabbit Hole. Everybody here, I love you.
Hello. Thank you,
And please
everybody. Have
support
a
and
great
donate.
night.
And
Thank you
I'd
for
like to
having
get a galaxy. We have 155 people. That's beautiful. Any galaxies out there? I always ask for a galaxy at the end of my show. So if you've never done a galaxy before, or one of those big round blue objects that look like a galaxy, thank you for everybody. We love you all. And I'm going to say one thing. 1, 2, 3. At 3, I'll see somebody doing a galaxy, and that'll be the final part of the show tonight. So 1, 2, 3. Now I know who's going to do it, but somebody out here is going to throw a galaxy for the first time.
Hey,
Somebody out
listen,
here.
I have to tell you something too. Let me introduce myself. My name is Uzini, Lord of the Seven Realms of Reality and Existence, and
Thank you, Teresa.
I am from planet Nibiru. Okay.
Beautiful, man.
Oh,
Beautiful.
man. We got to get you on tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll have to have more time to talk to you.
Yes. So the thing about me right now is they're kind of upset at me, and it's a long story. And they're a little upset at me right now, but this is like when you went to sleep for a long, long time and you just woke up and it's just like you know, you're just waking up, so everything's just like fresh to you now. It's like you just got
Yeah,
a new blast of energy. So it's like, waking up and just like realizing like, hey, so at the end of the day, I got this, you know? So with the Galactic Federation and everything like that, you have different entities and people are sent on different missions and things like that, right? So we'll leave this for another time because
absolutely.
Yes. Tomorrow.
right now I'm kind of like not at odds with them, but it's basically like when you're not paying much attention to something that you should be doing.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we wake up to a higher level of understanding. We see things a little bit clearer than we did before. So we'll have to hold these thoughts for another time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This show is going to be on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be putting it on YouTube and on Facebook. From now on, I'm trying to get all my shows on the other media so people that are not on TikTok can watch us, and hopefully we'll draw them to get TikTok accounts. Thank you so much. Who gave me
Oh,
that?
thank
That is
you.
beautiful.
Just gave you the universe.
That was Honey
Honey
McReynolds. Thank
McReynolds.
you, Honey McReynolds. We
next
love
week.
you.
I know
We
you're
love
trying to shut
everybody
down.
here, man.
I know you're
You
trying to
people are
shut down,
beautiful.
but I did have
So,
a personal encounter with Jesus, like
mhm,
in spirit. And I mean, if you would like me to share that, I would like to come on and talk about it.
yeah,
It was pretty profound experience, man.
we'll
I think
save
we
that.
should buy We need to buy Commander coffee in the morning because he stays up past his bedtime.
you know, I've been like this all my life. Like I'm a night owl, and I never knew why, but I think it's because I don't come from this planet. I just, I got to go. I know I got to go to sleep. My rest of my family's sleeping. I'm the last one to go to sleep, but I will be going to sleep.
What it is, they're trying to talk to you, but you just sometimes you just shut them out. Sometimes
Yeah.
you watch
I get
TV.
downloaded. I have my contact key holder before I go off with Kadar Manka of the Sagittarian Council. I don't channel. I've been in touch with Kadar Manka for over 20 years or whatever it's been. And, when he comes through on my radio show, I've had him come within my alignment of my body and he takes over. He's been on my broadcast here. I'll do a Kadar Manka broadcast
I
one night
can't
for
stand.
everybody.
I can't stand when that happens. When that happens, it's just over. I got a video that I want to share with you that they banned.
Yeah.
Like they didn't ban it, but they muted it because something
Yeah.
happened in that video. Like a manifestation happened inside the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. See?
Yeah. And
Imagine
so
if a
they so
spaceship lands on my live broadcast, what are they going to do?
like my power like when I said the statement that I said and
Yeah.
I showed them that they was here that they was present with me, my lights just went vroom and turned
Yeah.
back on. Like and
Yeah.
TikTok was
See?
like, "What? No, mute this guy."
Well, we're going to hold off for more conversations until tomorrow night, people. If you have UFO information, if you're in the government and you want to disclose information and come on as an alias, we invite people within the DOD, NSA, Naval Intelligence. Come on, step out of your closet there and be proactive in disclosure, everybody. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow night. This has been Encounters Late Night with your host, CmdrAleon. Goodbye, everybody.
Night.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Love and light.